Tonight's guests include Stan Shumlick and Bill Morris.
Looking back on the life that you're leaving, let it rest in a hole in the ground. Stick around for the great revealing, or the fire you've been dancing around. All we hear is the sound of retreating. No one cares where you're coming from. My ears are still ringing and bleeding. I guess we all knew from the start. These are the days my heart goes numb. Yeah, one of these days will be the one. Looking for answers. Oh, what a disaster. These are the days my heart goes numb. My heart goes numb. Breathing the fumes of the ashes, the spirits light up the night, looking down the edge of
We're live from the Untold Radio Network. It's Untold Radio AM with Monster Quest producer, host Doug Hajicek, and co-host Jeff Perrella Jr. Untold Radio AM is going live right now. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Yep, that's the ticket. Now here are your Untold Radio AM hosts, Doug Hajicek and Jeff Perrella Jr.
Hello, hello.
Hey, I got my close-up in. How did that happen?
I don't know.
Hello, everyone, and
I can't be trusted.
Yeah, hello, everyone. and good evening to everybody.
Yeah, good to see everyone.
Yeah, tonight we're going down some rabbit holes.
Yeah, fun conversation. Having this guy's back.
Not that I agree going down rabbit holes, but you know, who knows? I have no
Good
idea.
entertainment. That's why we're here. Have fun.
Well, but it could be more than that. We don't know.
Yeah.
I've experienced plenty of weird things, but that's the rabbit hole we're going to go down. We're going to explore the Sasquatch Puzzle with Stan Shumlick and Bill Morris.
Great
tonight.
guys.
Part
Looking forward to
two.
having them back. Yeah.
Part two. And I see Stan backstage. Man, he's looking good.
Yeah. Got a good setup this time. Looking good.
What else we got? So we're going to have other segments. So for all you guys that, crave the unexplained, tonight definitely we'll definitely go there.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? If I don't mind, happy birthday to my brother. My brother Joe turned 52 today.
I know Joe. Happy birthday, Joe.
He's with my dad at a drag race down in Charlotte.
Of course he is. He's never home.
They're having a good time.
Joe's never home.
Yeah, quite. He's home a lot, but he travels a lot too. He's always hunting and doing drag race and stuff. He's always having a good time.
He travels more in a month than most people travel in their entire life. He does. Don't deny it.
He gets out there. He has fun.
I've had dinner with Joe. I know his stories. It's literally insane. And he'll go these places alone.
Yeah, he's done some pretty crazy hunts out by himself.
I'm going to Moscow and I'm going into Siberia alone with some guy he's going to meet up with. I'm like, okay. He's got a lot of guts.
Yeah, he's been some cool places by himself.
So anyhow, tonight, if you're craving the unexplained, we'll go there again.
We'll try to explain it.
Grab your comfy spot, remove your dog temporarily, and then let him climb back on your lap again. Grab a beverage like Jeff is drinking, whatever it may be.
Just
we
water.
don't know. Sure. We're gonna have. Well, we'll have
the doc said I should aggressively hydrate. I've been getting over a pretty nasty virus.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was told to aggressively hydrate.
Aggressively.
Yeah, I'm aggressively hydrating.
Should put it
Punching myself in the face every time I drink some water.
Yeah. All right. Anyhow, so grab a favorite beverage like Jeff. Get ready for some chills and a connection or two.
Mm-hmm.
And we have clips tonight. Mm-hmm. We have trivia. For sure, we're going to do all these now because they're all kind of tight, but we're going to get through them all. All right, let's do it.
Some news. Ready to do some news?
Yes, sir.
Let's do some weird and fast news.
It's time for weird and fast news. Yeah! It's time for weird and fast news.
First up, what could go wrong here?
What could go wrong?
Yeah, scientists have created artificial neurons using semiconductor ink, that can communicate with living brain cells. Scary to me. Yeah. This could someday lead to better brain-computer interfaces. So I swear it's already happening. I swear they can read your mind now.
Yeah.
That's weird. I mean, you just start thinking about, let's see, I want to get a new whatever, and boosh, there it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
This is pretty cool, though. I mean, it could help people with damaged spinal cords. Which is, damaged hearing, damaged vision. It could do a lot of stuff, but it could be scary as heck, too.
So apparently this can help repair damaged nerves, like you just said, and allow humans to control machines with thought alone. In other words, we're one step closer to Bluetooth for your brain. The upside, medical miracles, like Jeff just said. The downside, pop-up ads in your dreams.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can barely get my phone to sync to my car. Now I trying to sync my thoughts to something? I don't think so.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, what could go wrong there, Jeff?
What could go wrong?
All right. And by the way, you did a great job on that photo you took.
Yes, actual photo.
Who donated the brain?
It's a living human brain. The brain of my enemies.
All right, next. NASA finds what looks like giant dragon scales on Mars. NASA's Curiosity rover has discovered strange rock formations on Mars that look like giant reptile scales.
Wow.
Scientists say they're likely everything's caused by water. Okay. Ancient water and mud cracking over millions of years. But let's be honest, dragon scale sounds way cooler, right?
Yeah.
Mars keeps teasing us with things that look alive, but they're not. That's what they keep saying. But man, they sure have these water excuses for everything weird. We don't have these here.
No, that's crazy. Well, next up, Curiosity is going to find a campfire in footprints.
It kind of looks like my front yard after the snowplows went through it about 90 times.
Yeah.
Okay, next. What we got? This one's interesting. A golden orb mystery solved in the deep sea. Marine biologists may have solved the mystery of the strange golden orb found in the ocean floor. The weird object looked alien, shiny, and slightly terrifying. Turns out it's an egg.
Wow.
Or biological structure from some deep sea creature. I don't want to meet that dude. Apparently it's pretty big.
There's so much of the ocean we don't know. It's crazy.
It says the ocean remains Earth's biggest horror movie set. So
crazy.
I don't know. Let's move on. The golden orb egg. There are like certain squid, they don't know. They've never seen them ever breed or have never found their eggs. So maybe it's a giant squid egg. It's my guess.
Or octopi. That's how maybe that's how octopus came from outer space. They traveled by golden orb from outer space.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm still convinced octopus are alien. They have to be.
They are. All right, now what do we got next? Plants can hear rain coming. A new study suggests plants can sense the sound of rain and prepare themselves as the first drop hits. Researchers believe vibrations trigger biological responses. that help them conserve or absorb water more efficiently. So your ficus may be more aware of the weather than your local meteorologist. Now, here's what I noticed. This is Doug's tip of the day to know if a storm is coming. Just look at any tree, and especially like maples, oaks, the leaves will flip upside down about an hour before a storm.
Oh, I never noticed that.
So if you see the leaves turning white on a tree, that means they're upside down because they're lighter on the bottom.
Right.
And so they flip. The other sign is if you have a house fly in your house, he'll go on the ceiling and go upside down. He won't land on a wall. He'll land on your ceiling upside down.
So flies and plants knowing it's going to rain, and I still got to use an app.
Yeah, about an hour, maybe even 2 hours before. But notice the trees. They flip. All the leaves will flip.
I never knew that. That's cool.
Yep. They flip upside down about. I mean, I used to use that trick all the time when I was fishing. I'd look on shore, and if the trees started looking white, even like I said, with hardly any clouds in the sky, the leaves are flipped. Get to shore.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Next, scientists discovered dinosaur fossils, but found structures resembling preserved blood vessels inside T-Rex bones. The discovery is forcing experts to rethink how fossils form and what can survive over millions of years. So Jurassic Park fans are once again becoming unbearable here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to find DNA next week. I'm going to start building my fence now.
Yes, I would. Could you imagine?
Oh, no.
God. Well, I was cool because like I'm reading my Nextdoor app, it's just kind of the surrounding communities. And now the big thing on there now is, bear sighted, bears are sighted. And I'm like, 10 years ago, that would have been unheard of.
Right.
20 years ago, you would have been labeled as a crazy.
Right.
30 years ago, you had a better chance people believed you saw Bigfoot sitting on your front porch than a black bear.
Right.
But it's common now.
Yeah, in really urban areas. It's crazy. They're not afraid. They come in close.
No. Yeah. What have we got next? Curiosity finds new organic molecules on Mars. Now, I swear to God, I keep hearing this crap. It says astronomers detected a mysterious burst of energy. Oh no, what am I doing here? Something's wrong. Here it is. Sorry, I'm all mixed up.
Yep.
NASA. Well, yeah, that's normal though, Jeff. What am I not mixed up? NASA Curiosity finds new organic molecules. Why is
organic barnacles?
No, I thought I see monocles. Those. The monocle like the peanut guys wear.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I gotta get my eyes checked. That keeps going. You got to get back to the doctor. You need the glasses. NASA announced Curiosity found organic molecules never before seen on Mars. Organic molecules are the building blocks of life, but not proof of life. Still, it means ancient Mars may have been more habitable than we thought. So, translation, not aliens, but alien ingredients.
Wow.
But
so
I
Mars
swear I keep hearing this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I get deja vu every time I read this crap.
So I mean that's the recipe. That's the recipe for life there. That's
yeah.
It's nuts.
And then let's see here.
You can read that one.
Nah, skip it.
Okay.
Could you imagine a cosmic explosion lasting 7 hours? That's not news, is it? Let's go to the next one. NASA finds planetary system that makes no sense. I like this story. NASA TESS spacecraft has discovered one of the weirdest planetary systems ever, called TOI 201. It has a rocky super Earth, a Jupiter-sized gas giant, and a monster planet 16 times the size of Jupiter, which is, oh my God, massive. All orbiting in a crazy, wild, different patterns. Okay. Scientists say the system is so strange that they actually can watch the planet's orbit changing in real time.
Wow.
Something that usually takes millions or billions of years. In other words, this solar system looks like it was designed by a drunken architect.
Wow.
Right?
That's crazy.
So it says one tiny planet, one medium planet, and one giant wrecking ball, all trying to share the same neighborhood, just going everywhere. So
yeah, that sounds like a family reunion. You got a normal guy, loudmouth, and a giant wrecking ball that ruins everything.
And a brother that travels to exotic places every week. Yeah. Okay. That's it for the news. Let's do our weird fact of the week.
Weird fact of the week. Here we go.
It's now time for Untold Radio Weird Fact of the Week. That is kind of weird.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you ready? Your stomach lining renews itself literally every 3 to 4 days. If it didn't, it would digest itself. This is what scientists have concluded. So between the acid, the pepsin, and the constant motion would break down your stomach lining in minutes. So it says, did you know your stomach lining completely renews itself every 3 to 4 days? And it has to. The stomach produces hydrochloric acid, strong enough to dissolve food, and if left unchecked, it could begin digesting the stomach itself. So to protect you from what are those monocles?
Speaking of a drunken architect.
Monocles? I'm going to get a monocle. I'm going to wear a monocle next time. Oh, my God. I bet they sell them on Amazon.
Probably.
I bet they do. To protect you, your body coats the inside of your stomach with a thick layer of mucus and bicarbonate, while millions of specialized cells are constantly dying and being replaced in a rapid regeneration cycle. It's like a biologic renovation project happening every week in your life. Scientists figured this out through decades of medical research using microscopes, tissue sampling, and cell tracing studies. It started in the late 1800s, that study.
Wow.
And continues. So there you go.
Interesting.
So when you're having stomach issues, give it a week, you'll have a new stomach.
That's a fast and weird fact of the week.
Yeah, anyhow. So what is it? Greg Olson says, butter helps the process.
Ah.
And then there's another one here. Now we're getting Greg's throwing out facts here. Women have 16 inches more intestine than men. Okay, you keep them coming, Greg. Don't stop with that.
I just read an article, or maybe we talked about it. I can't remember. Some of the most powerful acid in the animal kingdom is vultures. Vulture stomachs can dissolve bone. They can dissolve anything. Pretty amazing.
Oh my God. I'm reading the comments. Pardon me.
Yeah, quite all right.
Somebody's like, just drink a shot of Drano every couple of weeks. Don't do that. Instant death.
So more butter. I like more butter.
Yeah, and Greg says margarine will kill your
Margarine's
stomach.
terrible for you. You got to quit making it.
It's made of corn oil.
Yeah, that's bad stuff. You got to just have real butter. I don't think real butter is bad for you in moderation. It's so delicious.
I don't either.
Who doesn't love butter?
I think we need to disclaim Jeff. Jeff, put the disclaimer and then tell me that.
So yeah,
you just disclaimed yourself.
I'm disclaiming myself. I think I'm proclaiming that butter is good for you, but the Untold Radio Network does not support my hypothesis.
No, I do.
Yeah.
I do, but then not the network.
Yeah,
just me.
Right.
Okay.
So the network disclaims both of us.
Yes, we're disclaimed.
Fair enough.
All right. Next,
can't believe a word we say.
We're going to do audience trivia.
Dubious sources. Audience trivia,
and this is, as Jeff says, not a contest.
It's not a contest. So don't
But
label it as such.
if you want to participate, we need to let's keep it to 2 people. It's too hard to keep track of. 2 people. First 2 people that go yes in the comments will have a chance to not get a free, maybe a free book that we pick. We're going to pick it.
Okay. Not a contest, though. Not a contest,
No.
not a prize.
Just we'll mail it free, but you
no
don't
wagering.
win it. You don't win it. You're just borrowing it.
Sure.
Yeah,
For
someday you'll have
unlimited
to
time.
return it.
You know what? I haven't played the trivia bumper in a long time. Let's do that.
Oh,
So while
God.
that plays,
Keep the
let's get
volume low.
let's get a couple volunteers.
It's now time for Untold Radio AM Audience Trivia. Who wants to play?
All right,
Doug. So who do you want to pick?
It looks like we've got. Let's see here. Oh my God! I think the first were Lee and William.
Lee and William. Hopefully they got
Robin.
a fast internet connection.
I think those were the first.
Okay.
Am
We
I
want
right?
Quick answers.
Just wait. I want to make sure I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. That's those 2 first.
Yep.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. This is on money.
I like money.
Yeah. Well, this will shock you. Trust me. This whole trivia thing will shock you. All right. If you spent $1 every second, how long would $1 billion last you? A, 3 years. B, 31 years. Or C, 100 years. $1 a second. How long would $1 billion last you? A, 3 years. B, 31 years. Or C, about 100 years.
All right. Lee says A. And Mr. Williams says also A. And they are both wrong. No points for you. Not a contest.
Yeah, the answer is 31 years.
Yep. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. And so a
Billion
billion
seconds is
seconds also is 31 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but 1 million seconds is 11 days.
Mm-hmm. A billion is a lot more than a million.
Yeah, people don't realize it's all like
It's a
way
lot.
more. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind as we go here.
It's a
Okay,
million
a
millions.
million $1
100,
bills
yeah.
stacked up is about how high? $1 million stacked up.
Don't be reading that wrong.
What do you mean I'm not reading it wrong? $1 million $1 bills stacked up is how high? How many
That's not the
feet
question.
tall? It's not a question.
That's not the right question. You're not reading.
I am
$1
too.
million
It's number 2.
$1 million $1 bill stacked up is about 358 feet tall. How high would $1 trillion?
Oh, I see.
stack
I
be?
got you. Oh, never mind. Because I see you see why I got screwed up though.
Yes.
There's a 2 and a 3 there.
Get a new monocle
I need a new monocle.
or a barnacle, whichever one.
Yeah, I need both. All right. So here we go. If $1 million is stacked up 350 feet tall, how high would $1 trillion stack be? Is it A, 67 miles, B, 6,700 miles, or C, 67,000 miles high? So $1 bill just stacked straight up. Not on the edge, but stacked, because I mean they're only, a few thousandths of an inch thick.
Both of them said B, and they're both wrong.
Yeah, the answer.
67,000 miles.
Yeah, it's 67,000 miles high, $1 trillion. Stacked.
Side note: Did you ever see Binion's Casino in Vegas used to have $1 million on display? Did you ever see that?
Yep, I did.
It's pretty cool. They had a big block of $100 bills, $1 million in cash on display. It was pretty neat. Anyways, back to the trivia.
Yeah.
Not a contest.
Yeah. Did you try to steal it?
No.
Oh.
But there was plenty of contests there at the casino.
I
didn't
would
win
have.
any of
I
them.
would have with my monocle. All right. How long would it take to reach $1 trillion if you're earning $1 every second, $1 every second, how long would it take you to reach or earn $1 trillion earning $1 every second? Is it 32 years, A? B, 3,200 years? Or C, 31,709 years? That's a lot.
A lot.
Rusty goes, I remember Binions, yes.
Oh, Rusty said B. Lee said C. And Lee, first on the board. Lee is correct with 1 point.
So Lee's got one.
But I'm not keeping track. It's not a contest.
You are keeping track because it's not a contest.
Don't tell anybody that I'm keeping track. It's not a contest.
No, it's not. I'm just borrowing them something.
Extended loan.
Yeah, an extended loan.
That's all it is.
What, 100-year lease?
Sure.
Loan.
I want that book back in 100 years.
Yeah, 100 years you got to mail it back. All right. Next one. If you paid off $34 trillion at $1 per second, how long would it take? Okay, this is like, think of our debt. We're at, 39 trillion in debt?
It's insane.
Yeah. If you paid off $34 trillion at $1 per second, how long would it take you to pay it off? Is it A, 1,000 years, B, 1,000,000 years, or C, 1,000,000,000 years? A, 1,000, B, 1,000,000 years, C, 1,000,000,000 years to pay off a $34 trillion debt at $1 per second.
All right, Lee says C. Rusty says C. Both wrong. Good thing it's not a contest.
Yeah. It's the answer is B, 1,000,000 years. Like that's people don't even realize how long 1,000,000 years would be.
That's a long time.
And that's making $1 a second.
Yeah. That's how much money. I think how much money we're just wasted. Government is wasted. It's
crazy.
Terrifying. All
right. If you spend 10 grand every day, how long would your $1 billion last? If you had $1 billion and you spent 10 grand every day, how long would your $1 billion last? Is it A, 27 years, B, 274 years, or C, about 2,740 years?
Think about that. 10 grand a day. How long would it last?
Yeah, how long would $1 billion
That's a hell of a burn rate.
last? How many years would it last you? And that's collecting no interest.
Rusty said C. Lee said B. Lee is right. 2 points for Lee, but
yeah, it's 274 years.
Wow,
it would take you.
Think about that. Oh my gosh, to spend 10 grand a day.
All right, if the global GDP was 105 trillion, and that was broken into $100 bills laid end to end, how many times would it circle Earth? Would it circle Earth about 4 times? Would it circle Earth for B 40 times? And C would be 400 times. So A is 4 times, B is 40 times, and C is 400 times. And that's $105 trillion. Oh, and $100 bills. I forgot to add that. It's in $100 bills. How many times would $100 bills go around the earth? 4 times A, 40 times B, 400 times C. And where are we at? So
Lee says C. Rusty says B. What is the right answer?
Did anybody get it right?
Lee again. C, 400 times.
Yeah, it's 400 times. $100 bills will go around the earth.
Rusty.
Put your saxophone down, Rusty.
He's playing the blues.
All right. Counting one number per second. How long to count to 1 trillion? One number per second. How long would it take you to count to 1 trillion? Is it A, about 32 years, B, about 3,200 years, or C, about 31,000 years? This is just 1 trillion. You're counting one number per second. How long would it take to get to 1 trillion? Jeff, you should start now.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, start. Just start, and you can just keep doing it in your head for the rest of your life.
Hey, look at that. Rusty is on the board with 1 point. The answer is C.
31,000 years it would take you to count to 1 trillion. Now, when I tell you we're 39 trillion in debt, now you get it. How bad we're in debt. It's
crazy.
It's not looking good. All right, next would be to make every person on Earth a millionaire. How much total money would you need? Like if the richest, whatever, take a certain amount of money. How much money would you need to make everybody on Earth a millionaire? How much money? Is it A?
By the way.
Yep. Is it A, 80 billion? B, 8 trillion? Or C, about 8 quadrillion? When do we want to talk about a quadrillion?
The funny thing is, if everyone was a millionaire, then it wouldn't.
Then everybody'd be broke.
It'd be meaningless.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But let's get back to this task. I think.
Looks like Lee said B. Rusty said, did they both say B? And both wrong. The answer is C.
Yeah, it's C. It's $8 quadrillion to make everybody on Earth a millionaire. Oh, Jesus. Then everybody be broke.
Yikes. One more.
Earning $1 per minute. How long would it take you to make $1 billion? $1 per minute. How long would it take you to make $1 billion? Is it 19 years? A. B, 190 years, or C, 1,900 years? Earning $1 per minute. How long would it take you to make $1 billion? About 19 years, 190 years, or 1,900 years?
Rusty said C. Lee said B. And Rusty is right. However, Rusty, I have the name of your next blues song. It's not a contest, and I still lost.
Yes. That's going to be a good blues song.
That's his next blues song. I love it.
Yeah.
So Lee with 3 points, Rusty with 2. So Lee, if you could please, I know you said it before.
Jeff. Get a hold of Jeff.
Yeah, I'm going to type my email in here again because I don't always keep these emails. So, or if I do, I can't find them. So I'm typing in my email right now. Please email me your contact, your mailing address, and
okay, I got one more. I want to state one more money fact that will blow your mind. As of fiscal year 2026, the U.S. is projected. I need my monocle, Jeff. Is projected to pay about $1 trillion in interest on its national debt this year. Okay, but here's where it breaks down. That breaks down to $2.74 billion per day we are paying in interest.
Wow.
That's 31,000. Listen to this. 31 grand every second. So we owe 31,000 every second.
Whoops. I just realized I put the wrong. I'm sorry. I typed my email address wrong. Hold on a second.
Did you hear me, Jeff?
I'm sorry. I'm distracted here.
Did you?
That's how I typed wrong email address.
If you wanted to pay off the debt, or the interest alone would take you 31,000 every second.
There we go. Wow.
What did I say, Jeff?
I'm still typing.
See, that's what Yvette says to me. What did I say?
Well, I was doing something.
Well, I know, but what did I say?
Something about money?
Yeah. Okay. 31 grand a second you'd have to make to pay off the national debt interest.
Wow.
Per second.
I didn't get that this time.
$31,700. There you go. All right, there we go. One last one. To burn through $1 trillion in 20 years, if you had $1 trillion, you wanted to get rid of it in 20 years, you'd have to spend $137 million per day. And it would still take you 20 years. So there you go.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Anyhow, enough of that.
Enough
of that crap, as somebody says once in a while. What time is it? Oh, we're pretty close to right on schedule. We got only 5 clip picks.
Yep. Should we play those quick?
And congratulations, Lee.
For not winning a contest.
Yeah. You know what? We should just send them both something.
Okay.
Yeah, Rusty, you win. You win. I don't want you writing a blues song about.
It still would be a good blues title.
Yeah, I don't want you writing a blues song about our terrible not a contest. No. We got to disarm that right now.
So yeah, just send. Rusty, just send me your mailing address again, please.
Yeah.
Clip time.
Yeah, clips.
Let's play some clips.
Do it. Clip 1.
There we
Sound
go.
is good. This is a newborn lobster. You have to see this to believe it. It's so cool.
This is a baby lobster, and you can't see it right now because it's in water, and it's completely transparent. An adaptation to increase their odds of survival in this phase of life, known as the Perrella form. Very hard to pronounce, and I don't know if I got it right. But the point is that they're ultimately seeking the bottom, where they will settle and eventually evolve into the spiny lobsters that we know and order on nights out with families and friends.
Interesting. Did not know that.
I would definitely need my monocle to see that little dude, wouldn't I?
I had clear shrimp in a fish tank when I was a kid. That was pretty cool.
Oh.
Completely transparent shrimp.
Did you eat them?
Did not.
All right. Clip 2. Sound is good. I don't know why I put this in, but this guy is just cracking up. You obviously got a puffer, and I've got them too, and they blow up right away as soon as you you bring them up, and then you touch them or come near them, they blow up with air. And it does kind of look funny, but they are the cutest things ever. Go ahead and play this.
Look at the size of that pufferfish. That's the biggest pufferfish I've ever seen. Oh my gosh, it's massive. It's giant.
Well, they are kind of comical.
He thinks it's funny. Yeah, they are. They do have a funny look on their face. All right, next. Clip 3. Sound is good. The 4th of July is coming quicker than you could think. Here's some company decided it was a good idea to make fake firecrackers.
That doesn't sound like a great idea.
Well, it might be not. Go ahead and play this. It uses electricity. You can turn that on and drive the neighbors nuts.
Oh, and the dog grabbed their dog's nuts too. I miss the smell though. I like the smell of firecrackers.
All right, that's enough. That's enough of that crap. Okay, it apparently uses it's called it's made by Shockburst by YPS Creations if you want to buy one. And this isn't your typical prop. This thing apparently hits, and it has loud crackling bursts over 90 decibels. And It's got flash plus sound that grabs attention instantly. So, and it works on 120 volts. So if you're interested, buy one, put it next to your neighbor's house, and turn it on and let it rip about 2 a.m.
Send us a video of it. I want to see it.
Yeah, send us a video. Clip 4. I'm just joking. Clip 4. Sound is good. This is the most detailed view of a human cell ever. 4 trillion lines of code. And now we all know what a trillion is like, right? That's
we have a pretty good idea.
Okay. So we have a perspective on a trillion. Even the guy here with the monocle. Clip 4 is good. Go ahead and play it.
This is the most detailed view of a human cell ever made. The human body itself will contain around 40 trillion of these individual cells. Every human body, 40 trillion. And this is what the inside of them looks like. The human body is so much more complicated than you would ever imagine. AI will never replicate this.
That's cool. There's a lot of information in the cell.
Yeah, you think? There's probably a little picture of you in there. It looks like there's a monocle in there.
I see a couple monocles there.
You would need a monocle to look at it.
Dodecahedron, look at that. Last one.
All right, last one. Clip 5 sounds good. This clip I just call Swallow and Whole. This always amazes me. I have herons on my beach. I watch them all the time, and it always amazes me what they can eat and swallow whole. But what do they get out of it? Do you think they could taste? They must taste what they are swallowing. Well, they don't chew anything. All right, go ahead and watch this. All right. That'd be like you wolfing down a 40-ounce steak in one, not even bite, just swallow it.
I'd try it.
40-ounce steak. The whole thing, maybe even bigger. I don't know. Oh, yeah. All right. It's guest time.
Yeah.
We have got the handsome William, better known as Bill Morris. There he is in the corner. And his also handsome, was looking really good tonight. Looks like he got even a hair. Did you get a haircut, Stan? He's like, no. I'm not sure he can hear me. So we got Stan, his research partner and good friend Stan Shumlick is here.
From the Facebook page, the Sasquatch Puzzle.
Yes, and we are going to dive deep into all this puzzling mysteries that go along with the Bigfoot mystery. You can ignore this stuff, but it ain't going to go away, right?
No.
All the things that they've experienced and going to be talking. Once again, you can ignore it, but it ain't going away. So welcome, Bill Morris and Stan.
Bill and Stan. Welcome, guys.
Let me get my monocle.
Oh, geez.
Nice.
Here, I think I got one here, too. Oh, here we go.
Hey, Stan.
There we go. Stan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, good. Yeah. We are about to go down a road of anything goes. You guys don't hold anything back tonight.
We don't usually.
We're going down you don't usually anyhow, but we're just happy to go down whatever path you guys want to go down. But you guys have a website or a YouTube channel called the Sasquatch Puzzle. Mm-hmm. Don't check it out now, but after the show or tomorrow morning, check it out. We'll put a link up, and we'll give it later on in the show too. But all right, who in the hell got who into this research? Was it Stan getting Bill into it? Or was it Bill getting Stan, or did you guys just meet somewhere?
It's all Bill's fault.
Oh,
of course. He's got to have somebody to blame. And yes, it is me. I've been researching for, about
Where'd
5.5 years on my own. Then Stanley came into my life.
Yeah.
So Stan, well, let Stan talk about that and how it all started. Because Stan was a total skeptic. And we met at Beachfoot, and the rest is history. It's been an interesting journey and a great.
Well, okay. Well, just stop for a second. How did you even get invited to Beachfoot? Because that's Todd Neese's. It's a very exclusive gathering of Bigfoot researchers, invite only. How did you get invited, Bill?
Todd and I have known each other for, probably, I'd say about 7 years or so.
Okay.
And, he started inviting me, actually my first year of research.
Wow.
Because I'd found so many things.
Okay.
That he was like, he was kind of blown away like everybody else. They just can't believe what we find in a short period of time. But that has increased exponentially by bringing Stan into the whole thing. 2 sets of eyes makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because as we're going around, what we're mainly doing is looking for strangeness, anything weird, out of place. So it's actually so easy to spot. It's mind blowing. And people dismiss it as hunters going through the woods, everything. They're not paying attention to tree structures. And tree structures really are the main foundation of, if you want to find Sasquatch, that's where you're going to find them. They're not building those things to walk away from them.
Well, okay, but why? Let me pose this to both of you. There's a certain faction of the Bigfoot researchers that are really against tree structures.
Yeah,
they feel they're all made by people.
I don't understand that. And you know what? They're not getting experiences either. So
I was going to say,
something to look at.
We got one we call Colossus that I guarantee people couldn't make.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This has got a Douglas fir in the middle of this thing that's got to be between 2 and 4 tons, and suspended in a tree. There is no stump anywhere around. We checked the entire area trying to figure out where this thing came from.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find the spot where it came from. It's like, how did this monstrosity of a tree get into this pile, suspended into a tree? But as far as going, let's go back to Stan. Tell them about how we met, and let's go from there.
Okay, well, that's Kevin's fault. Because Kevin invited me to the Glide Festival to help out with his booth, which is where I met Todd Neese. And a conversation about infrasound got me an invite to the last Beachfoot. And it was at Beachfoot that I met Bill. We were the cool kids standing out behind the pavilion. Not saying that the presenters weren't presenting interesting information. It's just after listening to someone talk for half an hour, kind of needed to get up and walk around. And Bill and I started talking, and we talked for probably 2 or 3 hours over the course of the first evening. And we never mentioned the forest people, not even once. About a week later, we were at Oak Ridge. Again, I wasn't planning to go, but a last minute change and found myself there. And it was at Oak Ridge that Bill invited me down for a class to take me out and show me what I should be looking for. Structures, symbols, different things. The class lasted about 20 minutes before we ended up finding all kinds of new stuff, and it became a full-blown investigation. And oh boy, was that fun.
Yeah, it was quite a mind-blowing day for Stan, because there was so much input. By the end of the day, he had to take a break. He's
it was information overload.
It was absolutely overloaded.
Well, then, okay. All right. So let's just flash forward a little bit. How long was it before you two had an interaction? So you're out together, right? And something happened that bonded you guys. So I would imagine.
First day.
We became fast friends after meeting at Beachfoot and then hanging out at the Summer Sasquatch Festival in Oak Ridge, Oregon. That very first day that I went down for a class, we found fresh footprints. And literally at sundown that day, I had my first sighting. The 2 days that Bill and I spent out in the field, I had 4 sightings in about 24 hours. It was kind of mind-blowing, literally.
Seconds after he had his first sighting, which was, of course, a little woo factor, I sighted my juvenile. That would have been my 10th sighting in a spider crawl. Just as Stan turned to me to tell me what he just saw, I looked over and saw my juvenile. So pretty much confirmed that, he definitely saw something.
Well, can you guys define what do you mean by a sighting?
Well, it's the shimmer. It's a shape that looks like the light doesn't work right. The best way I can describe it is the type of heat waves that come off of hot asphalt after it's been sitting in the sun all day. Particularly, I come from the Southern California, so the Mojave Desert. It literally, you can see the heat waves dancing off the asphalt. It creates this sort of shimmer. And that's what I saw. Now, we were in a marsh at sundown. The conditions were just not right for this kind of thing to be happening. It was colder, it was wet, and there was no asphalt to speak of. I was like, okay, that's really strange. I'm like, Bill, did you see that? And as I'm explaining what I saw is when he looked over and he goes, I just saw my juvenile. And so that was literally day one out in the field with Bill. And before that moment, Bill had been going to this area for what, 5 years?
5 years.
Yeah. And we found several other structures. Like you said earlier, having a second pair of eyes is everything. We found structures in an area that he was very familiar with that he had basically passed by because he had to keep his eyes on the road. They are mountain roads. So you got to kind of pay attention. And we were able to find, well, our first footprint was a mile up from our first stop, but it took us 4 hours to go that mile because we couldn't get 75 to 100 feet up the road before somebody said stop, and we'd have to get out and investigate something. In fact, one of the interesting ones we found was a tree break, but this didn't look like the other ones that we have pictures of. It looked like it was done with a lot more violence, and so we dubbed that kind of break the explosive break or the anger break. And we thought it was odd, but now we've seen probably a dozen of them in different locations. So it seems like it's another kind of marker.
Okay, now here's a question. Do all of your sightings that you guys have had start with some kind of this shimmer and then the thing appears, or is it a shimmer and then
I lost audio?
No, you got good audio. Well,
hope he disconnected.
He's going to do a reset, but go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, you can hear me, Bill. So that's nice about having two you guys on.
Yeah,
it's good redundancy. It's like a Learjet. Something goes haywire, we're still
we
flying.
We got.
You have glasses instead of monocles.
Yeah.
It's like two monocles.
If I could just get a monocle, I'd be in good shape over here.
Two monocles.
I'm going to order one on eBay tonight. Okay, so you mentioned the shimmer. We want to know more about that. What you mean by it, because other people need to know what to look for, right? So describe a sighting in slow motion. You see a shimmer, start there. Bill?
Do you hear us, Stan?
Yeah, no, I'm back.
Okay, making sure you're back. Okay, if anybody's seen the movie Predator.
Yes,
it's like
everybody has.
It's like in the air, like a bunch of little mirrors all of a sudden come off. Sometimes there's a shape in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just that shimmer. I've seen it twice from my deck here at my home, and which was likely my juvenile. And I told him, I can see you. And I think the juveniles have to go through a lot of testing as they grow older, just like anybody else does, just like we do, to see if you know what you're doing. And I think that was one of his challenges, is to try to appear close to me without being seen. And,
so you're seeing the shimmer,
mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
Usually strange things will happen around the place. Things are moved. I had my wash machine drum spun when my wash machine wasn't working.
Okay.
I got hit with infrasound. I was instantly sick. Had to get up and go throw up. And I'm like, dude, not cool. Just kind of figured out that's what was going on at the time. And it's just weird things will happen during that.
Okay, but out in the woods.
Stan saw the one shimmer. As soon as he turned to me to tell me about it, and this was an area where I had my fifth sighting, and I was just showing him the area and explaining my sighting to him. And he saw the shimmer and looks at me and starts to tell me about it. I turn to look and see my juvenile. So, the association right there is going to tell me that there's something to that.
Right.
I've seen it a few times. Matter of fact, Stan and I were out last week. Stan and I both think that we saw something. We're not sure exactly because it was so quick. I saw something at the tree line at the other side of an area we call the gravel pit, and or the quarry actually. And I saw something that was like transparent, but I could see a form move across.
Okay.
And just seconds later, Stan saw something black ducked behind a tree, correct, Stan?
Yeah. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. It was the motion that caught my attention, only to see it disappear into a tree.
Okay, so you are seeing a creature associated with the shimmer, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
But not every time, correct?
Not every time.
Well, the second time I saw the shimmer, my second sighting, it literally looked like feet shuffling across the road. Like a purposeful shuffle, like, hey, I'm doing this really exaggerated so you'll notice.
Yeah.
And we were having lunch at the time, getting ready to cast a footprint that we had found that was on a rather steep embankment. And we call that area the print shop because there was a lot of prints in the area. And while we were eating, I saw this shimmer. I'm like, Bill, did you see that? And Bill's like, see what? And I explained what I saw, and he goes, yeah, no, that's the second time you've seen something. And this was 12 hours, less than 12 hours from the previous shimmer I saw.
Wow.
So we got ready to go cast that print. We had to make a rather interesting way to put a mold over it so that we could pour the plaster in and get it. And as I'm going up to put the mold on, Bill notices all the fine detail of the toes and the ridges between the toes just literally dissolve into the print.
Yeah, it was like somebody was brushing it away as I was standing there, and he was going up the bank.
Okay, couple of things. I'm really curious about all this because I've not seen that. Okay, is there any sound? Somebody had asked, is there any sound associated with this?
Not when I saw it.
No sound, no smell, any. So no noise. You don't hear like twigs breaking. How about after you see the shimmer? Do you hear noise?
No.
Nope.
Not at all.
Always quiet. Okay.
No smell either.
But
in fact,
one
of the strange things about when we go out in the forest is it's very quiet.
Yep. And your spidey senses tend to go off. You know there's something there.
Okay.
Stan gets that feeling. I don't get it anymore. Where your hair starts to raise up and you feel somebody's watching you. And but he's felt that often, and and we figure, okay, well, there's probably is something present. That's something that's inherent in human beings, is to understand when somebody's watching you. Especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere. That's definitely going to raise your senses up.
Yeah, we've all experienced that. I get it once in a while in my home, which I hate. It's like, oh, what the hell is that?
They do come to your home.
Well, I don't know what it's from.
In your home.
I don't know what it's from, but all of a sudden you'll get this weird feeling. Okay, so you see a shimmer, and you don't feel fear. Do you talk to the shimmer?
I do.
Okay.
It's just a habit of mine because, like I said, I have no fear. I know you stated that you still have a modicum of fear out there, but it's like we were at Applegate Lake, and this basketball-sized boulder came flying off the hill, across the road, onto some rocks that are built up to kind of hold the bank up, and it smacked. I looked over in time to see this basketball-sized rock bounce off the rocks there and down, and we're not afraid of that because they didn't throw it at us, first of all.
Right.
I figure if they're throwing it at you and hit you, they don't want you there. I've had pine cones, rocks, sticks, things thrown across my path, but it's just the way I see it is they're just trying to get my attention and say, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
If we're not paying attention.
Okay, so then here's a dumb question for both you guys. And please both answer it separately. But do you absolutely for sure know you're dealing with the Bigfoot mystery and not some other weird, whether it be aliens or some other kind of weird thing living in the woods?
Go ahead, Stan.
That's a good question because we found other evidence that we can't quite explain, some sounds we recorded. Generally, when we find tree structures, we find footprints. When we find footprints, we follow where they're going, and we tend to find tree structures. It's kind of almost a direct line to line.
Yeah. So that's okay. So everything just seems to continue to fit with the Bigfoot mystery versus you're not seeing a shimmer and then seeing a landed UFO.
No.
You're seeing a shimmer, then you're finding a stick structure nearby, having a rock throw. How often have you guys had rocks thrown at you?
I've had it happen a few times. I've had, like I said, rocks, sticks, pine cones, different things, but they've always been thrown across my path.
How about Stan? How about you?
I've had a pine cone thrown in my direction. It didn't hit me. And the only rock was the boulder that literally was basketball sized.
Oh, it made a sound that echoed up the valley like a cannon going off.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very loud.
That sounds like an interesting part of an encounter. Can you guys elaborate more on this big rock?
Well, we've been to this place before. We casted a trackway, which is the video I'm currently working on. We spent 3 days up at this area. And Bill and I had gone back to revisit the area in January when the ground was frozen solid. We're both over 200 pounds, and we didn't make any impressions on the ground. Yet we were finding prints that were in the frozen ground that was 1 inch to 1.5 inches deep. And then we found some in a flow of ice where you could see the footprints below the ice, that the water that had frozen and recovered them.
Okay.
They were like crushed ice in the shape of footprints.
And the ice, when it froze, left a kind of a white outline of the foot. So that's what really made us notice that particular spot.
Cool.
Yeah, while we were taking photos of that spot is when the boulder came flying off the hill. Now, there was no rock face, no cliff face, and the road is easily 16 to 20 feet wide. So it had to have been launched with some incredible strength.
So there was like an arch to the trajectory.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially the way the boulder came down, almost flat square on top of this rock. So it came over in an arch for that to happen.
How far away did that land from you guys?
Probably 40 yards.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
So it's kind of too close for comfort on a rock that size.
First thing I did is I said, "Hi, guys. Thanks for being here." We don't panic about that stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, we greeted them.
We're waiting for those things to happen. And actually, we love it when those things happen. Those things make me smile because I know we were the only ones out there that day. I don't think we had any company at all that showed up on that backside that day. So we know there's nobody on the hill, and a basketball-sized rock, what do you think that's going to weigh? Probably about 120 to 130 pounds, I'd imagine, probably in that neighborhood.
Yeah. And
to be launched off the side of the mountain, over the road, and to come down the way it did just to get our attention, it's like, well, that's going to take some hands, first of all. And it's my understanding that when it comes to rocks, if they want to hit you with one, trust me, they won't miss.
Yeah.
This is what they've been doing for thousands of years. I'm sure they use some of that for hunting birds or small game, is to hit it with a rock to stun it and grab it. That's a quick little snack on their way by. Oh, look, squirrel.
Snacks.
They're a tasty little meal, so they got a snack. They're not exactly small creatures.
Well, what's the one story that you and Stan and Bill that you probably haven't told anybody yet on a podcast, at least? Is there some encounter or something that was so out of the norm that you guys are like, nah, we better not mention that one?
Audio or visual?
Any of them. I'll take them all. I'm just curious.
Well, even audio wise,
everybody's got a story that they don't tell anybody. I want to hear that story.
It's like Stan sent you that audio that I took. That strange, very high pitched electronic garble sound. was very weird because we're out in the middle of nowhere. You know, when we're up in the woods.
Bill, can you imitate it before we go on?
No.
Stan, can you imitate it? Stan?
No, not even close. It
Really?
sounds like digital noise, like some really bad electronica from the 90s or something.
You know, like an old tape recorder that is dragging the tape around and just making a high pitched sound like it's getting ready to bite the dust. But I'm using a digital recorder. There are no moving parts. There is nothing in it to cause a sound like that. But what got me to set out the recorder was the day before we were on that road. We call it the Tree Stack Road. Now that's we stopped naming all these structures because we find so many, and on that road, good grief, Stanley, there's at least 50, 60, maybe 80.
Yeah, and we only went 3 miles up that road.
It's just incredible the amount of stuff that we found there. And a couple of what you would call a Sasquatch highway, where it looks like a train has gone through the woods. All the inside branches off the trees are broken out to where they could go back up and down. Stan and I were filming. I was filming one side of the little highway that we found, and he was up filming the other side, and you can hear him on my video say, "I found kitty prints," because he's up on the other side, and he also found 2 footprints on that particular trail on the side he was on. And it's just he was hearing this sound up there. Sounded Stan describes it as thrumming, which is probably,
whoa, thrumming.
Yeah, it's almost like a drumming, almost a mechanical drumming type of sound.
I know, but okay, slap your desk in the kind of harmonic rhythm that it was.
It was a numerical pattern. Okay.
Stan? Okay, hang on, Stan. Listen to what he's going to drum out and tell me if he's accurate. Like Morse code kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was like anywhere between 4, 5, and 6 beats with a pause in between.
Okay.
Yes.
And when I recorded it, it sounded like pretty consistent at 6 beats. And Stan was hearing it the first day we went up there because we'd been up the road a little bit, but we only went, maybe a half mile up the road before.
Yeah,
not
the
very
first
far.
day.
And we found things, and then they started to thin out. So we were like, okay, well, we're just let's go out because we were on another mission to head to a different section. And so we came back to it. The first day we decided we were going to explore a little further up, and that's when he heard the sounds. And he asked me if I heard anything, and I wasn't hearing it. He's a little better tuned in because he's an audio guy. So, but we're both musicians. And we came back the second day, and I could hear it. That's what prompted me to set my video recorder or my audio recorder up. And we went up to a point where you could hear the valley on the other side, and you could hear all the sounds basically almost in a 360.
How loud? I mean, it was easy to hear with your ears.
We can hear it fairly easy with our ears. It wasn't real loud, but it was loud enough that something's there.
Okay, but what do you think they were using to make this sound?
No idea. No idea.
Yeah, no clue.
Well, try to guess. Give me the worst, the best guess you can.
It's like beating on a drum.
Like a deerskin type drum?
Yeah, close actually. I'm native.
The tone was a little different than most of the drums I've heard. The pattern is what got me. It was almost a mechanical pattern that varied. It would be 4 this time. It would repeat 5, then it would repeat 6s. And it just kept repeating these patterns. And we were like, what is that? There's no industry up there. We are 15 miles from a cell tower, 10 miles from an electrical tower. There's no people up there. This is BLM and logging land. There's no civilization.
Yeah, it's very rare that we run into anybody. We did run into somebody the first day, but it looked like somebody, maybe they were, because of the rig that was on their vehicle, looked like they were maybe tracking a caller for maybe a cougar or something, maybe a wildlife person. that was up there doing a tracking thing. But other than that, the second day we never ran into anybody. There was nobody that had been up there. But was on the other side of the valley in the lower road, because I captured that on the recorder.
That's crazy.
Then I could hear them shooting guns off in the distance, so I figured they went up there to go plinking, as we call it.
Yeah. How do you know the guns weren't power knocks?
No. There's definitely a different sound.
Okay.
When a gun is going off, especially you get a high pitched kind of ping, with it, and the echoes make a difference as well. Stan, tell them about your first tree knock, Stan. This is one of the first times Stan and I went out. This was the first time we went out in his area, and he was just taking me up to show me where he had found some strange things before, and didn't quite understand what they were. So go ahead, Stan.
So Bill comes up to my area, and I've never done any field research in my area, still too new to this. So I wanted to take him up to where I found my first tree structure. It was a weird weave of 3 small trees over a game trail. And so it's over on BLM land, probably 6 or 7 miles from my house. And we went up there, and I took him to the exact spot, and it was gone, like it never existed. And Bill told me, he goes, they put that there for you to find, and now that you found it, it doesn't need to be there anymore. So color me disappointed, but we continued to search around that area of the mountain. And as we were coming back down, we found some tree structures. So, of course, we stop, we break out the cameras, we start documenting them. And while we're standing there, I heard my first tree knock. It sounded like the home run hitter hitting a grand slam out past the center field bleachers trying to break a windshield in the parking lot.
And you can kind of feel the percussion of it.
Yeah, you could feel the resonance in your chest. I mean, it was like the flawless hit. And I mean, loud, crisp. Wow.
And I was kind of laughing because I sometimes forget that Stan's new to this, that this is all new, and I didn't really pay attention to where, this is your first tree knock. And it's off a mountain, and there's no roads on the other side of the spot where we were. We're at the top, close to the ridgeline on the mountain, and going over that direction, I don't think there's much as far as roads down below. So, and this thing had to be fairly close to us, especially to feel, that whack. And Stan was quite impressed. He's like, that was my first tree knock. And I said, you haven't experienced that before. Oh, okay.
You never forget your first.
Well, have you guys come to the conclusion they're doing it with wood, or you think they're doing it with their voice or their mouth?
I'm not really sure. I'm still on the fence about that because I haven't seen it happen. I've been close enough, probably maybe 75 feet away from when my juvenile did one on my 5th sighting, just to let me know they were there. And it was quite powerful.
Well, it was only 20 minutes later when we got a second one on that same road. Yep. And it was much closer.
Yeah, and it's just a. Some people have seen it happen with their mouths. There have been witnesses to that, and there's been witnesses to see them with a stick.
Yeah.
So and they are good at mimicking things. They're not real good at it. They do. You can tell the difference if they're not perfect at it. And but when it happens, it's unmistakable, the crack. But it could be with their mouths because they have such a large lung capacity that it could be that powerful if it's a mimic. But it sure sounds like a Louisville slugger hitting a home run hit out into the parking lot. I mean, it is just a very powerful crack.
Not to change the subject, and we'll get back to activities and stuff, but Stan, let's start with you. Could you give me a laundry list of attributes you think they may have? Like basically unofficial conclusions, theories that you think that they possess, powers that they possess, superpowers, super abilities, habits, what they eat. Just give me kind of a laundry list of what you think you might know.
Well, I know they love peanut butter.
Okay, that's a good
and
one.
apples.
And apples.
Okay.
That's from experience.
That's 2. I expect a lot more audience, Stan.
Well, we believe they can control electromagnetic fields.
Okay.
This gives them what you call superpowers. You could take it a step further and say that they are quantum entangled, and what you were seeing is quantum physics applied.
Okay.
The whole cloaking thing, literally it's bending light around them. That's why it looks like a distortion. It looks a bit like a mirror. It's like the projection on the front does not match up with what's there. It's slightly out of sync or off kilter. It's not perfectly aligned.
Yeah, I think having no medulla kind of helps that, making their fur a little more transparent.
Yeah, and that would be by changing frequencies. There's a video on our YouTube channel, the Sasquatch Puzzle on YouTube, called Light Show. And this is them playing with a high-pressure sodium lamp that is in my front yard, basically. And they made it change colors to parts of the spectrum that high-pressure sodium's just not capable of producing when it's operating properly. And we think it was electromagnetic manipulation, not manipulating the power line, because it was only my light that was changing, not the rest of the lights in the neighborhood that are on the same system. So
but there is one other light up there at the county spot.
Yeah, we were on our way back from filming Dreamweaver. I was driving and Bill was the second eye's looking around, and he literally saw it's like a county repair depot that's off on this little mountain road, and it has the same kind of light. Bill goes, "Oh, they changed the light."
Yeah, we're driving by and it turns red. And sodium bulbs aren't supposed to change colors. You're either in the white zone or you're in that yellow zone, but you're not getting colors because those take specific gases. Like
and
neon light
frequencies.
And frequencies.
We're talking blues, greens, reds, oranges, like a sapphire white that is just amazing to behold. In fact, our puzzle logo, the colors were from observing the lights.
Okay, all right. Are you done, Stan? Are you done with your observations? I want to give Bill a chance to list a few.
Well,
if you got more, keep going.
You asked about something that we haven't told anybody about.
Yes, sir.
And we were about 1.5 miles on the other side of the area we call the quarry. We'd basically gone up to the quarry and then we turn around and come back. Well, this one time we decided to go ahead and go a little further. And we went down past some old growth trees that were incredibly huge Douglas firs. Just amazing.
Sorry. I had to post this picture. I just love this picture, you guys.
Yep. And so we get down to a point and it started thinning out. We weren't seeing any kind of structures or tree breaks or anything that made us go, And as we were coming back, Bill sees something that looks like a structure, so we stopped to go and investigate. I mean, we don't just see it from the road. We walk off the road and we walk a 360 around it to see, is this really something built, or could this have been a natural fall that from the roadway looks like it's something built, but upon closer inspection is very random. And so we come back up and Bill saw an X and he was shooting some photos of the X. And I was looking a little further down the hill and I'd never seen one before, but there was an orb that was bouncing in and out of the branches of a bush in broad daylight.
Yeah, it was in broad daylight.
It wasn't super bright. It did do a little bit of light spill on the leaves that it was going past, but it wasn't like illuminating a huge area. And I had to stop and say, well, that's really strange. I've never seen anything like that before. I tried to take a photo, but the lens would not focus on the background. It kept focusing on trees and other things that were in the foreground, so I couldn't get a clear picture. And I was very frustrated about that, being a photographer. So that was the one that I haven't told anybody about. As far as other things that we think they do, we think they have community. They have family structure. They host guests. When there's a forest fire in the area and another clan gets displaced, we think they go stay with basically relatives, go crash on their neighbor's couch.
Yeah, can I borrow your couch tonight?
There's a lot of other interesting things that we find. We find certain structures that seem to be ceremonial. We found interesting like rock stack things that were incorporated, that if a human did this, they had to haul some very heavy stones over a long distance, because we search around the area to see if there is a source for the materials that we see in this thing that looks like a construction.
How high are these
rocks? We're
rocks?
not 100% sure that it was done by the forest people, because we weren't there to see it happen.
How high,
But
Stan?
I really don't think Boy Scouts or college students are going out into the middle of the woods, off the roads, off the trails, and building elaborate structures with symmetry and geometry and not splashing it all over Facebook and Instagram. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
The rock stacks are usually for...
Did I lose you guys again?
No, you're still here.
You.
You're still here. No worries. Unless you can't hear us. As far as the rock stacks go, mine tend to just do 2, maybe 3 at the most. And it's usually in some obscure spot where nobody else would find them. Can I answer a question real quick that somebody posted up, which is my good friend Linda Sigmund? Linda asked, how close have I been to a Sasquatch? I can tell you I've been within 2 feet, close enough to touch. And if I hadn't been so terrified and be the way I am now, I would have reached out and touched them.
Well, you can't let that story slide. You better tell us the.
Well, that was my second sighting, which was face to face, which we talked about on the last show when it was just you and I. Yeah, he'd taken like 4 steps, and I turned to my right as I was walking home in the middle of the night, and was standing there with me face to face. You know, which absolutely terrified me because I didn't really know about the Sasquatch people. It wasn't really on my radar. I was very open-minded when I was young, but, you know, I was completely terrified. And it was just absolutely crazy to me that there was something happening here. I got my mom to pick me up that night just after that because I was walking home. I walked home often. We lived 3.5 miles out of town.
How old were you, Bill, at the time?
I was 16 or 17 at that time. 16 during my first initial sighting of one. And I actually kind of archived that back in my mind because I didn't want to believe I saw what I saw.
Well, what did it do and what did you do?
It was crouched down. I was hunting. And this is probably within 60 to 75 yards of my bedroom. You know, I'm going over the hill. I'm living on a ranch. And I'm coming down this road on the other side that was never completed because they put the place in where I'm living. So they put a gate up there and everything. And but the roadway on the other side is clear, you know, it's still a roadway. I was just coming over the crest of the hill there, directly behind my place. And if it hadn't moved, I would have never seen it. I'm hunting, so I'm tuned into any movement. Deer are always moving their ears, batting flies or bugs or whatever's bothering them. And I saw this thing move, and it's crouched down, kind of like a rabbit sits. You know, it was its hindquarters were kind of hunched back, knees bent, elbows down to the ground, and it kept its head down, so I couldn't really see its face. When it left, I looked at it for about 2 minutes. I never raised my gun to it or anything because I was always taught, if you're going to kill something, you're going to eat the target. And it's like, well, in my mind, I was seeing the world's largest rabbit, just because of the way it was positioned.
Yeah.
And but it after about 2 minutes of me watching this thing, and it was tricolor. So I felt rabbits that were tricolor, so in my brain that went, oh, okay, well, that makes sense, even though there's no such thing as a giant rabbit. This thing was probably about 7.5 feet tall, but when it left, it took a dive, and I remember it had hands with fingers when it took the dive, and I never heard another thing. It's like it dove into a hole and it was gone. So, in my mind, I didn't want to believe what I saw. So my brain kind of said, okay, it was a giant rabbit.
Well, okay. Well, you said it had its head down.
Yeah.
I've often heard that.
I couldn't see its face.
I've often heard these things will not really look you in the eye. I've heard this before. I don't know if it's true.
Well, I think they do it to obscure themselves,
Okay.
So, I mean, like I said, you could probably walk right past one. I mean, within feet, and would not know it's there because its head's down. It's I witnessed this with my fifth sighting where Stan had his first, the shimmer sighting at that Triangle Marsh. And when he came out, he was, I'm looking over and going, is this a bush? Because he was so perfectly still. And Knuckles out in front of him, kind of sitting on his heels with his knuckles in front of him and his head down. So he just looked like a bush. If you weren't paying attention, you would never notice. If he had moved one iota, your eyes would have caught it.
Right.
And go, oh, whatever that is live. I had to look at him 3 different times before I figured out what he was.
I know, but why do you think he didn't move?
I had a question in my mind. How do they hide in plain sight? And the thing about the Sasquatch people is most of the time they don't answer you directly. They show you. And I think he was absolutely showing me how he does it. Because my sighting lasted for 45 minutes. I was out there to call BS on Tom Cantrell and the way he does things. Armchair squatching. Yeah, right. What a bunch of bull. Let them come to you. Yeah, right. And I proved him right because it happened there. And also he introduced me to the juvenile. The juvenile showed up after, about 5 minutes and was standing next to him. And what blew me away about the juvenile, I was like, this is a stick man with hair, because real skinny. I was expecting them to be a little beefier and, that they're going to grow up and be like little gorillas, as they grow up. And I was very surprised. I called Tom Cantrell and they're like, Tom, I never even thought about juveniles. Most people don't. They think Bigfoot's one just big thing running around the woods, but no, they have kids. They have kids that have to grow up. And so the juvenile standing next to him doing the little rock, of course. Stanley. But he's doing the little rock back and forth and everything. And it just, like I said, he looked like one of these kids that never been out of the parents' basement, spent all day on the video games. Their arms are about that big around and just spindly looking kids.
Huh.
They've never lifted anything heavier.
What color was the juvenile?
Oh, blacker than black.
Black.
Like Stan described when he saw JJ the first time, almost light absorbing, to where it's like you're looking into just a black abyss, like a black hole.
Like Vanta Black.
Yeah, there's no reflection, no anything. It's just looking into a whole space.
Okay, now
so black.
You guys have named these creatures. I'm taking that for granted. Stan, have you? Named them?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
okay, how do you do that though? I mean, do you recognize, like, you've seen them? You know which ones? You know who's who, and you've named them.
Well, visually, I've only seen JJ because after my second shimmer, I had 2 face-to-face sightings within feet. The other ones we kind of give nicknames to based on their footprints. Like we found
Uncle
some
George.
26-inch prints. And the two different sets of
Okay,
26-inch
whoa.
prints have different widths.
Yeah,
One is
26.
15 and a half and the other is 14. So we call one Lurch. And then there was another one that's a 22-inch by 12-inch print. We called him Uncle George. It's just something so that when we're discussing what we saw or what we found or what we photographed later at home, we don't have to go and explain, that print we found on the really steep embankment that was 4.3 miles up from the road, we just give it a nickname so it's easier to remember and chat about.
Well, same thing with the Sasquatches. When I named them, I named my alpha male Big Silver. When I first met him, when I was face to face, he was blacker than black, but now he's got a silver sheen about part of the way down his hair. The roots are still black, so he has kind of a salt and pepper silvery look to him. So now I just call him Big Silver. The female alpha, I call her just Mama. JJ, I started out calling him Junior. He kind of let me know that he didn't really like being called Junior, so it just kind of morphed into JJ. And what's funny is I was at Oak Ridge, and there was a doctor there. She's one of the top naturopath doctors in the world, and she had come up to me to tell a story. Me and Ron Roseman. We were the only ones there. That was after the festival was done. Everybody's packed up, gone. And Ron and I, Ron's got the gift of gab. Probably worse than Stan. It's going to be interesting when I get Ron and Stan together and see who gets a word in edgewise. But she came out and she said she just had a sighting with a juvenile that had gifted her a rock. And for some weird reason, I asked, did he say his name? And she said, yeah, it was like JJ or something. So I about fell out of my chair. I'm like, I looked at Ron and said, I told you they follow me. They follow me everywhere. Now I have proof, another witness to it. So he actually adopted the name JJ. Then there's one more, and I had always thought there was one more, but I figured it was an older individual. But my son and I had found a trackway about 3 years ago in the snow. And notice it's a little toddler, so I call the toddler Toddles. I still don't know if it's male or female. This is one of the family that I have not got to meet face to face with, and otherwise, Silver and JJ. When I had my sighting and he introduced me to JJ, that was 45 minutes. The next sighting I had was an hour and a half. And I was there, eyes on, 68 feet away, because I had measured everything. Watching the alpha female and JJ. JJ was just kind of kicking up, like with his arms across the branch, watching me, while she stood there, and I just chatted away with him, doing anything to kind of keep him there, make it last as long as it could. And I actually ended it myself. Told him, hey, I got adulting to do. I have to go. Because, I do still have responsibilities I have to take care of. It's not all about Sasquatch. I don't want to get so obsessed with it, that I can't leave it or walk away from it here and there.
Well, what were they both doing, Bill? Were they both just still?
Just kind of standing there and listening to me. I actually had my guitar with me. I played my guitar to them, was explaining different things of music, just anything out of the blue just to talk about.
But didn't they move at all, or were they just...
Oh, yeah. As soon as I mentioned taking a photograph, JJ disappeared. So I started laughing and called him chicken excrement. And but what I didn't realize is I actually have 2 pictures that I took. And I asked permission if I could take pictures, and I explained what a photograph is. I said, it's not going to capture your spirit or anything else. I said, I know we natives actually believed that at one point in time, that it would capture our soul or our spirit. And, I explained it's a thing about human memories are fallible. This is a way that we can look back on that photograph and take us back to that time, so we can remember things accurately and what happened and how it happened. And, it's just a piece of time for us to trigger a memory. And that's what photographs are, is memories seen through our own eyes. And so I asked if I could take a photo, and she allowed me actually to take 2 pictures. Took them on a crappy phone, but they still come up in the picture. Stan has seen them. But
Yes, I have.
I don't put them out there too often because I'm not out to prove them. I already know they exist. What I'm doing is, and what we are doing is basically gathering circumstantial evidence.
Are you guys trying to, what would you call it, habituate them at all so they're used to you and not afraid? And
I have for years on this family here, and some people say, well, they're loners, they do this, they do that. They have a breeding season, which is all BS. From what I can see is they stay together as a family unit. They seem to be monogamous, because this family unit stays together. Every time I've seen them, I've seen their prints together, or I've seen them together, and I know that the alpha male is not just out wandering around to look to impregnate, whatever it can find. They stick with the family unit. So I believe they're very family oriented. Trust is a big thing with them. Trust and respect, and the way to gain respect with them, which you have to have first, is gain that trust. A lot of people, the best way, if somebody really wants to start a habituation type thing, if they are having sightings, is clean up the trash in the woods. Believe me, there's plenty of it. I've got video of so much garbage dumped in my area that it's sickening.
Do you guys pick it up as you find it?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. I carry trash bags with me. We pick up whatever we can when we're up wandering around the woods, because we'll find it all the way up in the top of a ridge line. Going, why is there so much garbage up here?
Why do you think there is?
Because people are pigs?
Yes. And that's
lazy.
Tell me what you really think, Stan.
Everywhere mankind is gone, they leave their garbage.
Yeah.
There's always something. So if you need to survive in the woods, guess what? Just wander around. You'll find plenty of things to use.
Well, you expected me to sugarcoat it, Doug?
No, and we both
Not really.
feel the same way. People are pigs. They really are.
Yeah.
So a great way is clean up their living room. Even as the smallest, I pick up the smallest of wrappers.
Yeah.
Anything that shines, anything that stands out, I get every little piece of whatever I can picked up. I got a story that I don't share very often. It's like there's a spring in the area where my main research area, and there had been some campers there, probably homeless. Looks like a lot of stuff they left behind was just garbage and things they probably stole out of somebody's garage. And so I had been up there and seen all that, and it just drove me crazy. It's like, this is not cool. This is the one water source in the area, and somebody has to come in and just pollute it and destroy it. So I told them, okay, guys, maybe not the next time, but here coming soon, I'm going to clean this up. So I arrived to clean it up. I brought a rake and shovel and plenty of bags. And when I got there, there had just been a bear there. Bear sprayed everything. Now, if you've never smelled fresh bear musk, it will turn your stomach. It was all I could do to catch a breath and get past this stuff, trying to clean this up. There was a fresh pile of bear scat. Matter of fact, I may have scared him off on my way up there. This was all so fresh. But I cleaned this area up. I got everything bagged. And when I was grabbing the last little bits, bagged it up, was tying off the bag, they were surrounded me. And they were tapping sticks together as an accolade for me cleaning up.
Interesting.
And of course, I talk to them all the time. I'm in the woods. You think, this guy's a nutcase. He's out there talking to the trees. No, I'm talking to my Sasquatches. Because it feels more comfortable to me to talk out loud than it does to do, just thoughts. And I know they can read either way. It doesn't matter, but I just feel more comfortable speaking out loud to them.
Do you guys ever bring strangers out and share your experience with your?
No, we're not trying to put on a show. We don't.
No, but if somebody asked to join you, would you take them? Or
we're planning to go out with a couple of other researchers. We
want to take some people out. We kind of want to go to a place we've never been, and show them how we do it. Show them how we find the spots, what to look for, how to investigate things like tree structures to figure out if the things came from, if some of the sticks were transported, where did they come from? Because not everything's pushed over or pulled up. They will use resources that are already there in the area. It doesn't matter if you cut it with a chainsaw or an axe or, so the whole thing is figuring out, okay, how was this made? What is the symmetry and geometry to it? Because there is a symmetry, always a symmetry to it. That's what makes it stand out and makes it catch our attention, because it's something that does not belong. You look at something, people dismiss. We had one guy that going, oh yeah, well, I'm in Michigan. After an ice storm, everything looks like that. I said, yeah, well, it can, but you go investigate it. Go out and look what has symmetry.
And Jeff, if you've got any, photos you want to just randomly throw out,
I'll show them up.
Just whatever you want.
Don't be sleeping on your job.
I got some. No, I'm just
we
listen.
Told you to go harvest the sites.
Yeah, I did. I pulled some pictures off. Bill, I just want to say I love the term you use, calling it clean their living room, because I think thinking of it that way adds a lot of perspective to just a lot of interaction, a lot of stories I hear about.
We're in their house.
You got. So I think a lot of it is about showing respect for their living room.
And
it also explains how they know it so well. I mean, you sit and watch. You sit on your couch every night. You know every square inch of your own house.
Absolutely.
So if somebody all of a sudden moves your TV over a foot, you'd notice.
But I have those things happen.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a great way of that's a great perspective, is thinking of those active areas. That's their living room. So show them some respect.
The first
don't
day
move things
we were
around.
out, Bill
Don't leave your garbage there.
That he called the dining room.
Yeah.
Tell him what you found there, Bill.
Oh, I've which Doug has seen the video on this of a Sasquatch killed bear. Matter of fact, Doug was one of the ones that confirmed it for me, and so did Ken Gerhard. You two, actually, there's only even Stan hasn't seen this video yet. That one there is a beautiful structure. This is where we found our first 26-inch print. I shouldn't say we, I should say Stanley. He spotted that thing. And this is some of the structures that was around us. This is so intricate. And
hang on a second, Bill, if you can hear me. Okay, here's what I'm seeing. I see, first off, I see a deer trail.
Mm-hmm.
I see a deer trail that was blocked. And I'm wondering if that isn't an ambush point, that they built that to ambush. It looked like I can see the.
Here's another thing to look at while you're looking at this. You notice all the branches between those two trees directly in front, one on the right, one on the left?
Sure.
They're all broken down. There's none sticking out.
Yep.
Yeah, one side of the tree has no branches. They took
the
it
other
off
side,
so they wouldn't get snagged on it.
Yeah, so they can go in and out of there freely. This is what,
But do you agree there's a deer trail there?
Oh, absolutely. There's
Okay.
deer and elk that run through there.
Yeah, but they look like they blocked it for a surprise attack. In other words, what I think they might do is scare them down the line. They come running down their normal deer trail, and they hit that.
Yeah, they have.
And
to
there's
go out
an
and
ambush
around it.
waiting for them.
Well, that's it, and I think that is part of it. Because I think they like the primal side of themselves. They like the hunt. Just like we do. We're not all after trophies. Some of us are after meat. That's me. I don't care if it's legal. It's going in the freezer. We call it freezer training here. But yeah, some of this is, I think, is for that as a diversion, to divert them to a specific area. I think some of it is around to break up their own silhouette. So when they're behind it, you're just seeing branches and sticks up, and you just see, there's darkness behind it, which is common. And some of it, we think, we just call them street signs, because there's so much around the world that looks just like this. Absolutely things that look just like it. And you can see the tree breaks in this one down right in the center there on the upper left. Some of these are up. Stan and I were finding up at the quarry the other day that the breaks are at like about 15 feet high, which kind of explains that 26-inch print, that there's a big guy running around up there. The first photo was the first 26-inch print that we found, and that was one that Stan put a cigarette pack in the middle, and it dwarfed it. It looked like a little chicklet sitting inside that footprint. So, and that was one that led us to all this stuff. We actually, on the other side of the road, we actually found other prints that were smaller, not quite the 26-inch, but we found several of those, lots of arches, lots of different things, because when you find these things, you find them in concentrated areas. Like that is beautiful, and that is up off the, I do believe we found that one on the 33-mile road as well, Stan.
Yeah, that one's on the 33-mile road.
Yep.
I mean, if anybody thinks that was made by humans, they're nuts.
Well, you're looking at those trees, and each one of them, even though those aren't real big, they're actually bigger than they look. Photographs never do things justice as far as size.
But humans aren't gonna build something like that.
But you're looking
it's too much effort, too much effort.
And probably the smallest one there is probably the long one that runs at the base of it all the way across. That probably maybe 150 pounds. The other ones are probably between 300 and 400 pounds. I don't know too many humans that are running around out there practicing their bodybuilding and out.
Well, Jeff does, but I don't.
Well, Jeff's the exception.
Yeah, well, that was an exception, but
Right. I saw him with
once
my monocle.
again, it just looks to me like
It's constructed.
Oh, it definitely looks constructed. But the question is, what is the purpose?
And that's the whole thing. That's why we call them street signs, and they're so common. Stan and I are looking at other people's things that are posting them back east. This is an interesting spot right here, this archway right here, because we got readings off our meters.
What meters?
Oh, the shield.
The right side of this is absolutely weaved. All these branches, there's 3 of them that wrap around this thing that are weaved.
Yeah. What kind of meters did you use?
We're using RF meters.
Okay.
And electromagnetic flux.
Yep.
I've got a reel of that I'll play in whenever you like.
Would you guys be willing to buy a just for kicks and giggles, because they're only like $20? Get a Geiger counter.
I thought about that, because some people said there was also that they were getting readings off of Geiger counters.
Yeah.
So
that would be interesting.
Why not?
Especially if we're getting elevated levels in certain areas that might have some sort of correlation. We're still in the data gathering phase. We just last Monday, the 20th, did another video about that. I guess you'd call it a circle or an arch, because you can't really see it in that photo, but the detail of the weave is very intricate. It kind of shocked us. I mean, we looked at it the first time the meter was reading, it was pinging in the danger level, so we didn't linger in that area very long. We thought it best that maybe we should move along. But we got in closer on all of the details that you see there. On the right side of the screen, the weave you can't really see very well here, but I did some extreme close-up photography on it, and man, it is intricate. This took fingers to be able to manipulate this. This wasn't a natural thing. And on the lower left, there's a pile of sticks that are at the base of the madrone that composes the majority of the arch. And when we start getting magnetic and RF readings, we wonder if we're activating some sort of technology.
Yeah, we've had spots that made us pretty nervous.
Yeah. Especially
Well, somebody had mentioned even, is it a portal?
Well, that's kind of what we were thinking.
Well, if you're thinking it, say
everyone's
it.
seen the movie Stargate or the TV series SG-1. We know that it takes 7 addresses to actually activate the Stargate. We were going up, we went to 5 different sites, and each time we went to a different structure, the energy readings increased in frequency and increased in intensity to the point where we were going up the road and driving. When the meter went crazy, we stopped the vehicle and we looked out and found a structure that we didn't know existed.
By using the meter.
Yes.
We decided, well, I wonder if the meter could actually find a structure. Let's experiment with that. And that's the whole thing. We're trying to do things as scientifically as possible. And matter of fact, Stan and I are working up a checklist of things to check off when we're finding these things.
Well, so let me tell you guys a story. Maybe you can try this. My son Blaine, for the first time, they brought an EMF meter, and it's the kind that picks up AC, DC. It picks up every type of current, right? Mm-hmm. And electromagnetic radiation. So they do a test, a controlled test, and they leave it on during driving through towns, and the needle barely moves, and then it goes quiet. And when they get out in the country, but they did a wood knock, and they got a wood knock response, and right after the wood knock response, the needle pegged. And I mean pegged, he said, all the way, and stayed there for like 6 hours.
Wow.
But here's my point. The first question I asked him, well, did you have 2 meters with you? So it isn't going to be a good experiment with 1 meter. You need 2.
Yeah, Stan and I, we did that actually last week. We were at the rock quarry. Stan decided, well, I'm going to turn on my meter, and it just went off, and I turned mine on, which I had in my pocket.
Good.
And mine was going off. And mine
good,
went
good,
down.
good.
Mine went down, but Stan's was still going off. It was like it was directed at one or the other. Not that it was, just coming generally everywhere. It's just that, my meter stopped reading. As mine stopped, Stan's was peaking. And matter of fact, there is a video in there that he may have stripped. This one here that we have up was, we're talking, oh, yeah, that might be the one that he had his meter in his hand.
Yep.
Go ahead and play it? Jeff, you want to go ahead and play that?
Sure, here we go.
So we're just a few feet from where we got our last readings. Bill's meter had dropped to 0, and I'm now reading almost 1,000 nanoteslas. This is literally the danger zone, hence the alarm squawking.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and we're 15 miles from...
yeah, exactly. There should be no EMF there.
We're
none.
10 miles from the nearest power lines.
Okay, but did you bring yours out too, Bill, to check?
Oh, yeah, as he said, that my meter had just gone down to 0.
I know, but did you go right by him and stand next to him?
Yeah, we go back and forth, and his will be going off and mine won't.
I know, but have you ever tried to hand your meter to?
No, we haven't handed off and switched or anything.
Well, you guys are going to want to do
but
that.
That will be a future thing now that
yes.
you mentioned it. Thank you. And well, sometimes it takes a suggestion. The picture he has up.
Oh, I know it gets complicated when you're out there in the field. You always overloaded your brain, and you can't think straight.
Well, because we're blown away by the things that are happening.
You can't. I know that, and I'm.
Yeah, we find new structures and new things, and we're like little kids at Christmas.
Right. You get excited, and
we're in the candy
So I'm not criticizing you guys. I'm only going. If I told you every story where I screwed up, oh my God, I could write a book.
Oh, I've got
screw ups.
That's why we're working on checklists. So we can go down the checklist and do those things.
Okay, so here's what I would do. I would definitely also have a compass. Kim Christensen brought up a good point, and she's at it where the compass then will start spinning.
Which would
Well, we haven't
show
had that
there's
so much. We have actually checked tree breaks to see what their orientation is in relation to the compass.
You guys, okay.
Surprisingly, a lot of them face true north.
But I'm so glad you recorded that video.
We'll see the photo that he's got right now.
We've recorded quite a bit of video, actually.
Yeah.
But
the
point is,
a lot of it,
guys, there should be no EMF unless somebody. I mean, do you guys leave your cell phones in the truck? Do you bring them? What's the story?
You can put your cell phone right
the
up.
meter typically, even on the cell phone, reads about 150.
Yeah, very low.
Wi-Fi comes in between 550 and 650. It gets dangerous for humans at 850. And when my alarm was going off, I was getting peaks over 1,000.
Oh, that's crazy. Just hang on one, Bill. I just want to thank Kenny. Thank you so much, Kenny, for doing that. I bet you there's some people that really appreciate that. That was very, very kind of you. Anyhow, go ahead, Bill.
Let me see. Squirrel.
Good night, everybody.
Sometimes I come
Can you
out.
hear me yet?
Yes, we hear you.
Bill, you need to probably refresh the page.
Oh, we're going. You can hear me?
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear
You
you.
can hear me.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Well, anyway.
Stan's in another dimension. Don't
But-
worry.
Of course I am.
But I've got the squirrel back.
I live in the country, for crying out loud. It's completely another dimension.
What happens sometimes when I come out of these areas?
Like we were saying, when we were at the ridge road that kind of rings the top end of the quarry.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a sequence or a pattern of things that we check every time we find something, just so that we can start logging it and notice if there's any similarities between the different types of stuff that we find, whether it's a twisted tree break, an arch, a twisted arch, a wreath, an X, whatever it is we happen to find. We want to take all the readings, including measuring the distances, checking to see if there's any root balls, any sockets where the tree was pulled out, or like we found a lot recently, the trees were transported from somewhere else and literally stabbed into the ground. And we're shocked because it's anywhere from 8 to 18 inches of being stabbed into the earth. I don't think they fell that way.
That one's amazing. Stan, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can.
That's amazing, that picture.
That's an elevated asterisk that we found on a spot that we're calling Puzzle Rock Trail.
Tell him why
we were drawn to the area because I noticed a weird rock sitting on top of a much larger boulder. And one of the edges looked like it had been carved into a puzzle shape, and the rock had the same thing, so it fit like it was a puzzle. And it was like, we're the Sasquatch puzzle. This is interesting. Bill picked it up to see that, no, it didn't fall that way. It was placed. There were pine needles that had turned brown that were uniform underneath and undisturbed, and yet this rock was sitting on top. The boulder had lichen growing on it, yet this rock had nothing. We kind of took it as a sign that we should go explore this trail.
That's that's complex.
It's when we're out there, we're not looking for something specific. We're looking for something that seems out of place. It seems like it doesn't fit the natural order, that it might have been manipulated. When we find rocks, we check to see, is there a source it could have fallen from? When we find tree breaks, we look to see, did another branch hit this, or another tree falling hit this? We look to try to naturally explain what we find. It's when we can't naturally explain it that we start photographing it and documenting it. It just seems, some of the things that are really strange, like the shot you're looking at right now is from the 33-mile road. And it's sort of a a stump asterisk. It was like, okay, this is really strange. And you
this is
can't
on
really
Tree
see
Stack
it
Road.
that well in the photo, but when you get up there, you find out that the back branches, the back tree trunks, are actually woven in and around it. How does it fall in sequence to weave is what I want to know.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of things. Bill, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think Stan can hear me, but he can't hear you.
No, I can't hear Bill at all.
No. Okay. Bill, you need to just reboot. Just leave
All right,
and then just come right back
hit a
in.
refresh here.
Yeah. Just do a refresh. I don't know what causes that. I have no idea. I'm going to blame it on StreamYard.
That's a fair thing to blame.
I think so.
I'll take that.
I think so. Anyhow,
I keep looking down because I'm reading the chat. I mean, there's been some great questions coming.
Yeah, they are.
I want to give a shout out to everybody and say thank you for coming in and hanging out with us and giving us some great questions. I mean, fabulous.
Yeah, thank you, Amy, too. And we have a great family of people who watch us live. Anyhow, okay, this arch and all these ferns, what a beautiful area.
Yeah, well, the thing is we find arches all the time that like this that are singulars, and yeah, that could possibly be snow load. But when we come into an area and there's an X and an arch and 5 tree breaks, it starts looking less natural and more like it was constructed. So then we'll go investigate to see, are the trees natural? Were they pushed over? Or were they transported from somewhere else because we don't see any others of that species growing in the immediate area? Then we'll literally, and we're kind of silly this way, we'll go pull on them to see if they're rooted or if they've been jabbed into the ground. And if they've been jammed into the ground, we measure how far. Because I don't know about you, but I can't jab like a javelin type stick into the ground where it goes in, 12 to 18 inches. It's just not possible for me. And then for us too, when we see an X, we kind of have a rule. The two elements that make the X must be touching. We've seen a lot of structures that we determined were naturally caused. They look like something from the angle that we initially saw them in until we walked up on them and did a 360 around it. And then you could literally see and sort of forensically reconstruct what happened in the forest to put it there.
Can you hear me now, Stan?
Yeah, no, I can hear you now.
Okay, we're back to it. Going back to the meter stuff that I wanted to say, sometimes I come out of those areas when we're having high meter readings and feel like I got a slight sunburn.
Really?
Yes.
That's not good.
So that's why it kind of makes us nervous a little bit sometimes being up there when these things are going off.
You should definitely get a Geiger counter.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something we'll add to our arsenal because we are trying to be scientific.
I bought one off Amazon. And
they're not very expensive anymore.
I think it was under $25.
Yeah.
And it works really well. Don't ask me how I know.
So that'll be something else. Matter of fact, I'll add it to our list.
Yeah, no, for sure, because it's not expensive. And the more feedback you can get, once again, it's always better to have 2 of something, too. Keep that in mind.
Oh, absolutely.
But
way you can
we play that video of his EMF meter, Jeff, running?
Sure. Give me a
second crazy for those that have just joined. This is Stan's EMF meter going crazy in the middle of the forest, 15 miles from any source of electricity. Go ahead. Play it. Oh, we need audio.
Yep, no audio.
Oh, shoot.
Shoot.
Yeah, I've got a message that said my browser has lost connection to your screen share audio.
What? Thanks, StreamYard. We should call it SteamYard.
I'll be all right. I'll be right back. I got to restart StreamYard.
See, it never ends.
Time for us to ramble.
It never ends. Oh man. Okay, so let's get into just something new here.
How about they're not monsters?
No. So, well, you guys are still alive. What do you think their niche is? What is their niche? Everything has a niche. Everything has a purpose. Did you think that they help the forest? Do you think by them doing, is it them harvesting certain animals? Do you think their niche is to just humble humans? What are your theories on that? Why did they exist?
I think they're here for us. I think there's things coming up that because more and more people are being approached right now. If you see out there, the sightings are kind of off the charts. I think they're here to kind of help usher us into a new age, a new way of being that seems to be starting to happen and seeing it in real time. Right now, it's about truth. The truth of things being exposed, the veil being lifted. You're seeing it happen with the government. You're seeing it happen around the world. And I think they're here partly because of that reason of raising our vibrations, our energy, because that's been part of the things they've been doing for me is working on raising my vibration, teaching me to be a better human being, actually.
Okay. All right.
Let me try this again. Let's see if this works.
One more time. There we go.
So we're just a few feet from where we got our last readings. Bill's meter had dropped to 0, and I'm now reading almost 1,000 nanoteslas. This is literally the danger zone, hence the alarm squawking.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
And we get that all over the place.
Oh, really? So,
Yeah,
okay. Well,
see, I've done the same experiments by running my meter all the way up there, wherever we're headed, running it through town. I know when I come, there's a couple spots where the cell tower is right next to the road. And you hear it go off, but it doesn't go off into a danger zone. You know, we'll be going down the road, and it just intermittently kicks up into the high levels. Very, very odd and very strange, and no reason for it. Especially when we get away from power sources for these to be going off. We don't know where it comes from, if it's even associated with the Sasquatch people. But we do get a lot of readings of it around their structures. So in order for them to manipulate things like frequency, all that, they are masters of nature. And what is nature? Quantum physics. You know, so if they've mastered quantum physics, that explains most of what they can do. You know, like they say, the best way to go around something is to go through it. That's part of physics. When you see them flying through the forest like there's nothing below them, you know, they're going through whatever's there.
Okay, but when you say mastered, they don't use any technology. Is it something they've been given as a gift?
I think it's just something that they understand, and they know how to manipulate it, know how to use it. You know, we haven't quite figured that out yet. We're still kind of stumbling in the dark, you know, as hairless apes here.
I think we used to
things out, but they've been doing this for thousands of years. You know, so
that's one of the theories about Neolithic structures is that they moved them with harmonics and frequencies.
Exactly, just like building the pyramids. You know, they'd have to move one stone every second for 20 years. To build the pyramid.
And we know that they're excellent mimics, so maybe they're mimicking that. Who knows?
Yep, and that's the whole thing. And I think we had these skills as well before we domesticated ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we had all these abilities and stuff. We had to survive, or we probably wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be existing at this moment if we hadn't had all these things to help us in our survival to get here.
I've got a reel here that Stan and I were talking about earlier. This is pretty cool. I'll play this for you guys.
And in the center of your screen, it looks like footprints sidestepping up the hill. And to say that this is steep is an understatement.
Yeah, you can see the trees that are kind of standing upright. That gives you kind of a little hint of the angle of this. And most of these prints that we find like this on these banks, and we find a lot of them between this bank and one up around the next corner.
Yeah, no, that area is very active on the banks.
And they always walk side hill. But these prints, when you're looking at this and trying to follow this up, they go up to a spot and that's it. They end. They just disappear. Whatever was making them is just gone. One person commented, well, they jumped up or whatever. Well, if they did and they're in that soft soil, there should be a really deep impression there from them powering up and powering off to get up. And it was like 15 feet straight up to the top. So, that didn't make sense at all. The first time because I've read about it several times where somebody's tracking a Sasquatch, following prints in a snowfield, and they just all of a sudden stop out in the middle of nowhere. There's no exit, from that point on, and just can't figure what happened. I experienced that as well. Is my alpha male was coming down through the snow as the other three family members were going up the road, and his prints just vanished out of nowhere. There was not another print. There was another print over the bank on either side. They were just gone. So, as far as portals go, well, science is starting to figure portals out, and they are studying portals right now. They've been able to kind of recreate them. They're trying to figure out how to manipulate them. Once we figure out that type of technology, I got 3 seconds to get to work. Let me step in my portal. Bing, clock in. That'll be a great time. I'm waiting for that day. But yeah, they just tend to disappear. And there's lots of stories of that.
Do you think they, somebody had asked whether you think they do any shape shifting?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet. There was a time where I was in my research long before I was ever a researcher. I was up there hunting. And this big buck came out. Just beautiful. But it had this white glowing sheen around it. And it didn't look quite right. I could have taken that home and put it in my freezer that night, but I never did lower my rifle at it. For some reason, I felt I wasn't supposed to. But I actually, now thinking back, because it wasn't quite right. I don't think they're perfect at it, just like in their vocalizations and different things that they do of mimics. I don't think they're quite perfect at it. And you can always tell if there's something a little weird about it. And that's the way this was, as I thought back about it, because for some reason that came back into memory going, oh, I remember that day. That was real interesting. I didn't want to fire at this thing, although it was a trophy size. This thing was just big and gorgeous and beautiful, but I never forgot that kind of glow sheen that it had all around it. Almost like it was just illuminated on just outlining the whole entire deer. It was very strange. But we've seen things that, you just can't quite explain. That's just like Stan seen his orb in the woods. And I was like, oh, that's your first one? He said, yeah, I've never seen an orb.
Can you describe it, Stan, a little bit more, the orb, what you saw? I don't think Stan can hear me.
Did we lose you, Stanley?
Yeah, well, now you're back. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Can you describe the orb?
It's fading in and out, but, you got to love modern technology. Or hate it. Not sure which.
I don't think he can hear me.
Yeah, the orb was not something that I had anticipated or expected. It was kind of shocking. I'm like, am I really seeing this again? And I watched it for probably 2 minutes dance in and around the branches of a bush and a tree.
How big?
It actually did geometry in the air as well.
I'm not sure if Stan's hearing you.
Well, can you relay the question,
Yeah, I'm
Bill?
not hearing you. I'm going to have to restart.
How?
If I remember correctly, this is about the size of a grapefruit.
Okay.
What he was describing. And I'm there. Are you getting a picture of it? Because he's got his phone in his hand and he's trying to focus in on this, but the camera mode he was in was trying to focus on the things forward of that orb. Yeah. So he wasn't able to get an accurate picture or a picture period of it.
Jeff?
You hear us, Stan?
Yeah,
What's going on with StreamYard that we keep going?
It keeps resetting my audio. It's
nuts.
It's issues with StreamYard.
Oh, it could be the Sasquatches. They like to manipulate things.
I'm the only guy, the monocle guy right here. I'm the guy that doesn't have any problems today.
Which is unusual.
Which is unusual. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're blessed.
And without your monocle.
Yeah, I'm doing it all without my monocle. Oh gosh. So you've seen the orb. Once again, it seems like a really common thing where people see orbs in the woods. What do you think the orb? What do you think the orbs are?
I don't know. Couldn't get close enough to see.
Yeah. I don't think it's ball lightning. They seem to be sentient. You know, the way they move in and out. The first ones I've ever seen was I was a horse trainer, but where I trained horses was 5 miles off the grid, which is actually my research area. It's the other side of the mountain off the same road, which is surprising. That's where I used to have my horses come in, and their manes are braided. It's like, how did that happen? That's not exactly a natural kind of thing. You know, they get matted and stuff, but as far as a braid coming in, but we were up one night. I was waiting for one of my mares to foal. It was anytime I had one of my ex-girlfriends with me and one of my students when I was training horses that wanted to be there, because we teach a thing called imprinting. So as soon as the horse touches the ground, we teach it everything it needs to know. We become one of the parents. We handle that horse, get it used to the sounds of bags and everything else, and being touched and handled from head to toe, and it makes a completely different, easy horse to train. Instead of taking weeks for me to train one of these horses that I've imprinted, it takes hours, and I have a horse ready for you. You know, it's that fast. It's just an amazing thing. But one night we're out there and we're waiting for the mare to foal, and my student had to go to the outhouse, because we had an outhouse because we're 5 miles off the grid. And we all see this ball of light. Probably this one was about basketball size, but it's weaving in and out of the trees. So it had to be aware that the trees were there. You know, it's not going through them. It's weaving in and out of them. So that tells me that it has some type of consciousness, you know, to be able to do that. So I don't know if it's a Sasquatch turning into orbs, which people have actually seen that they turn into a ball of energy and just take off, or, you know, they come to you. Heard of people talking to them and asking them to come to them. And the orbs have, and it made them so nervous they left. Because, you know, you get what you ask for sometimes when it comes to the weirdness of the world.
Yeah.
You know, just like, you know, anybody else, you know, you ask for something and then you go screaming out of there. Well, you know, don't ask for it if you're not ready for it. You know, because a lot of times nature will give it to you.
Somebody, Cryptid Crystal mentions, don't be touching orbs. I concur, because I had one indoors fly into my face once, a small one, and it left a burn on me, and then it got swollen, and I literally had to go to a doctor. I still have a scar from it.
Yeah, it's high energy. It's like it's not ball lightning.
No,
ball lightning is very erratic. You know, these orbs tend to act like I said, they have a sentience to them.
Yeah, it was just crazy. I mean, I didn't tell that story for so many years. Mm-hmm. This happened in the 90s, and it flew. I was watching it, and it flew into my face, and it hurt. It was extremely painful. Mm-hmm. So, anyhow, I don't know what it was. I just know what I saw, and then what happened afterwards.
We will remember that in the future.
yeah, remember that.
Dan,
so one thing, but Bill and Stan,
and that's what she said.
Add this to your list if you're looking for equipment. I would get a small, cheap.
Oh, I lost y'all again.
They're only like $2, Bill. Get a laser pointer.
Yeah, Stan's got some.
And you could aim it at an orb. Give it some of its own medicine.
Well, I don't know if I want to make it mad. It might come and burn me.
But you could see if it reacts, because a laser will go, oh my God, it'll go half a mile before you can't see it. But it's just an idea for you.
Yeah, like I said, Stan does have some because he's got cats. And sometimes he likes to play with the kitties. And
I would bring
sometimes
one.
they just look at him and go, "Are you serious? You think I'm going to fall for that?" And other ones are going to go play with it. So, but that's another thing that might not be too bad of an idea. If you can think of it at the time. Think of it is everything we could possibly carry. We probably wouldn't be able to lug it around. It was all the things that would help with experiments and stuff. So sometimes it's hard to perform things when you're out in the field because you don't have what you need with you, or if you have it with you, it's going to become cumbersome after.
Yeah, or you forget to use it when.
Well, that's it. It's like Stan when he was having his face-to-face sighting with JJ.
Yeah.
He's looking for his camera. It's in his hand, and the camera app is already open. It's just the thing is remember to use those things when things happen. And it's the big thing is don't panic and be calm.
All right. So now I'm going to ask you guys about your regrets doing out in the field. Do you have any regrets? Stan, you first. Any regrets of something you wished you woulda, coulda in hindsight?
There's a lot in that, we get all excited and forget to take measurements on things.
But what's your biggest regret? Can you focus on one?
Not taking a picture when I had a camera in my hand.
Okay.
Mine is finding a beautiful trackway of basically 4 Sasquatches in the snow with my son, and it was bright out that day. We're looking at our phones trying to take pictures, but the screen is basically blank because the reflection of the sun. So I break out my camcorder, and I got 20 minutes of audio, but no video because I left the lens cover on, thinking that it's just so bright out I can't see the screen. So I blew the trackway. So now my camera no longer has a lens cover.
That's actually on the list of things to consider.
Yes, and you'll hear me on a video that Stan and I did. That was the one where we're both on either side of the road, both filming what we called the Sasquatch Superhighway. When he said he had kitty prints, is the first thing you hear me say is on the video that I was taking is, "Bill, remove lens cover," because I started out the video with the lens cover on.
Oh man, I got so many questions.
Everybody makes mistakes. It's just I don't care who you are, even the best is going to make a mistake.
Yep.
And blow something that was just incredibly cool, and unfortunately, it's gone.
Could you guys hear me again?
I can hear you. When
Okay,
do you
good.
not have questions, Doug?
Usually it's back up. Then we lose the whole thing.
Back it up. Now, be honest here. You guys don't have any more. No fear. What about going alone? Like if you were alone, would that scare you to go alone, or would you still feel comfortable 15 miles back in the woods alone?
I did it for over 5 years. I'm absolutely comfortable with it all.
Stan, you too?
Yes. One of the things you'll notice in the videos with the meters is that we are both strapped that day.
What do you mean?
Normally we don't carry firearms with us, but there was a lot of evidence of some really big kitty cats. In fact, we found the carcass of an elk that had fallen out of a tree that was a cat's stash. So think about the power that it takes to haul an elk's torso up into a tree to stash it to eat later. That's a big kitty cat. And, we do want to stay at the top of the food chain, even though technically we're not. But I always tell Bill, if I get killed by a mountain lion, know that my last words were, "Here, kitty, kitty."
Oh my God! Give Stan the hook on that one.
Yeah, well, it's a bad joke, but it's the truth.
Oh my God.
I have cats.
Jeff, we need to have an animated hook so we can just play that every once in a while. Okay. I'm going to make one for you. Okay. So, all right. We don't have any huge regrets other than not taking a photo and things like that. Have you guys had any hitchhiker effects happen where you feel like you've been followed home? There's activity at your house now. Any fear or regrets there? And Stan's laughing, so I'm gonna let you talk now, Stan.
Well, let me say this: is when we started this whole thing, the first day I took Stan out, I told him, this is a rabbit hole that has no bottom. Stan's like, I've been down rabbit holes before. I said, this one probably not. This is going to blow your mind. And I did warn him that strange things will happen after your first sighting. They may follow you home. And go ahead,
wasn't
Stan.
kidding.
Go ahead, Stan.
Yeah, he was not kidding at all about that. Literally the day after my face-to-face sighting where physically saw him, weird stuff started happening around my house. Footprints in the grass, footprints in compacted gravel that we walk on and there's no trace, but here's an 1.5 inch deep, 18.5 inch footprint 10 feet outside my front door. Gifts started showing up. Bird feathers, a yellow rubber, like Nerf type material ball, a stone that looked kind of like it had a sagittal crest. I had a cat named Button, so I found a baggie with an old button literally in my pathway that I take when I go in and out of my house.
Okay, a baggie with a button in it.
Yeah, well, my cat's name is Button, and it was just really kind of strange.
It's a coincidence.
Well, you could say that, but I had just walked this path not 5 minutes before, and there was nothing in the pathway. I had forgotten something in my vehicle and went out to get it because I needed it. And I'm like, well, okay, that's weird. There's a baggie in the path that wasn't there just 5 minutes ago.
And I was with him.
And it's like, well, okay, that's really kind of strange. And we picked it up, and it was weathered and well worn. And so was the button on the inside. And I know for a fact it wasn't there because I literally watch the ground as I'm walking so I don't trip over my own feet. It just boggled my mind. Because I have cats, they have left feathers in my house. One of them in my easy chair. They were pristine, which is not possible when you own multiple cats. The moment they spy a feather, it's shredded. Like seconds. There's nothing you could do to save it. Yet I have a pristine crow or raven feather. I had one that was a blue jay feather that we found out by my barn. The interesting thing about that is it wasn't laying on the ground. It was stabbed into the ground quill first, like a little flag sitting up on the ground. I almost stepped on it when Bill said, did you notice that? And I looked down and I'm like, okay, that's really strange. I get it, they fall, but do they stab themselves about an inch into the ground?
No way.
And there's another regret there because we didn't take a photo of it.
Yeah, there was another incident where I came out and looked at the passenger window of my truck, and something had sneezed all over my window.
Snarfed his truck.
Yeah, no, we're talking. Well, I'll just say it, snot and a huge spray pattern. And I'm like, well, that wasn't a cat and that wasn't me. So what could have done it? I didn't think it was evidence, so I cleaned it off. And it wasn't until I was finishing cleaning that I was like, you probably should have taken a sample of that. That might have had DNA in it. That's definitely a regret. I wasn't prepared for stuff to follow me home.
Listen to this comment.
To find stuff in my yard.
Hang on, Stan. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Amy says, one time when I was walking in the woods with my daughter, I told her we need to get your dad a pair of gloves to keep his hands warm And when I got home, there was a pair of old gloves sitting on the wood pile.
Yes, they do tend to do things that you mentioned. Marcia Moore, the artist, she had mentioned that she was on a path and she didn't have her notepad with her because she wanted to write down an experience that was happening with her. And she gets down the path a little further, and sitting up in a tree was a little notebook. And you'll see that in a flash of beauty. They tend to, then there's other people, they've, I need to water my dog, I got to go back to the car, go get, a container and stuff. And they find like a thermos on their path full of water. Those things happen. They happen all the time. So it makes you wonder, and it makes it a lot easier if you associate it and going, okay, well, they are listening to me, and where do they have this stash of stuff in the woods? That's what I want to find. One of these days, Stan and I are going to walk by a tree, and it's going to be just full of all Hot Wheels and little balls and little toys and hearts and buttons and, anything you can think of. They have a collection somewhere that they can draw from, the things that you're thinking about. Tobe Johnson had a lot of this happening out at the Almoon Labs of little trinkets and different things showing up. We were gifted things in our pathway. Walk down a pathway. When you come back, there's something in the middle of the trail that gets your attention that you were gifted. Happens all the time to a lot of people. And, so it makes it easy because you're focused on the forest people at the time. And they know it. They know you're coming out there before you even know you're going out there. Like I said, that's part of that looking forwards and backwards in time, that they understand, when they're going to have an encounter with you or to leave you something that's on your mind. And it's usually something that you've been thinking about, just like a glyph. When they leave a stick little glyph somewhere, usually it's meant for the person that finds it. And it's about something, if you think back what you were just thinking of moments before, you can kind of translate the glyph and figure out, okay, they're giving you an answer to something. So there's so much weirdness associated with this whole thing. As we say, high strangeness. It's about as high strangeness as it gets. And it's some days it's just totally mind-blowing.
Weird stuff. I'm reading the comments. There's interest, almost as interesting as you two. Some of the comments that people are making, backing up, what you guys are saying.
Absolutely, and it's like when Tobe found the knee impressions. I was actually watching him live when all this stuff happened, and that was kind of my introduction to Tobe. Was right at the start of the Almoon Labs when it started.
Tobe is so odd.
Absolutely, I love Tobe.
I love that guy.
He's a good guy, and the stuff that he's done some wild experiments with things, but they worked.
Yeah.
That was a weird start. They worked. We never know what's going to work. Just like finding Bigfoot. They did all kinds of weird experiments with every single show just to see what would work and what wouldn't work. Well, unfortunately, they never found Bigfoot because none of it worked. But, and that's what I tell people. I say, we don't bang on trees. We don't do calls. Why? Because I think that's disrespectful to them. You are mimicking them. If somebody mimics you, you get a little upset about it.
They have a language.
They have a language, and that can be seen as slowing down these calls and looking at the different levels of things that I think they have more. We have a single hyoid bone, which allows us to talk and speak. That's what gives us our language and our ability to have language. I think they have more than one. Because what's being seen on these, especially when you're looking at a video spectrogram is what's showing you all the levels of different things that you're seeing at different frequencies. And they've been noted to have more than one frequency at the same time, and that there is more than one thing going on in these calls.
Bill, you made a really good point. I can see how they would think of that as kind of mocking them, trying to mimic them. That never occurred to me. That's a great point, and I think you're right.
And once again, It's just speculation, everybody.
Yeah.
We don't know.
No.
For all you know,
I think it's a great theory,
a
though.
wood knock. For all you know, a wood knock is like the biggest compliment. We don't know.
We don't know.
We shouldn't act like we do.
But I like Bill's theory.
Because to me, the most disrespectful thing is assuming we know something we don't.
Should I play the disclaimer again?
Yeah, come on, disclaimer. Can you please disclaim me?
I disclaim Doug right now, but
Yeah,
I think it's a good theory.
No, I mean,
but it's about
you
looking
guys
at,
could be right.
It's about looking at all the things in common and that other people are experiencing as well, and just kind of putting a little logic and reasoning to it. You know, that you're looking at this common thing that's happening not just to you, it's happening to many others.
Right.
And finding that, and you're looking at the whole compilation of it all and the big picture to create the puzzle.
Do you guys know Amy?
I don't think so.
Stan?
I might.
Not familiar.
I've got so many people on my Facebook that it's,
Okay. So Amy just mentioned something I'm really interested in is the Bigfoot's humming. And Amy goes, they can also hum beautiful songs. Amy, you need to, can you expound on that a little bit? Have you heard it? So expound on it. We'd love to talk to you more in detail, me and David Ellis. So, okay, back to, sorry. There's so much activity in chat. Squirrel. Have you guys?
We all have ADD. We all do. That's part of the deal.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why we're all here.
Exactly. I think half the chat does too.
We've all seen the movie Up.
Have you guys ever heard a buzz or a hum or anything like that ever?
Of course.
Stan, last week, Stan heard a low kind of grumble. You want to explain that, Stan? When we were up on the
so we were up on the Puzzle Rock Trail, and we had found, what do you think? It was like 16 to 20 pinch breaks.
A lot.
And there was a bunch of other tree breaks, and we got down to a point where the trail was starting to get thinner and starting to fill in. And we stopped and were considering turning around. And as we started taking steps back the direction we came, from about 50 to 70 yards out, I could hear like grumbling. You know, it was, it to me it sounded like, we're having lasagna for dinner, and it's like, I don't want that. It was some sort of grumble.
Well, can you mimic it a little bit?
It knows that I did my best with it. I don't really want that. It was just it was weird because when we're out in the woods, we'll first get there and we'll hear birds chirping. We'll hear woodpeckers knocking on trees. That sounds like staccato machine gun fire. We'll hear insects buzzing. And within a few minutes of finding a structure and actually documenting it and investigating it, the forest will go dead silent. I mean, even the insects go quiet. It's a little unnerving. It's a little weird.
Well, you say unnerving, but does that mean fear?
No, it's usually it's springtime right now, so everything in the woods is making noise trying to get some.
Yep.
Nice.
And that shouldn't be happening. It should be just full of sound. All the birds are trying to, find their mates, and so is everything else. All the squirrels. It's that time of year, and it's the unnerving part. It's just being aware, being aware of the surroundings, that this is going on, and it usually means we have activity going on, or that we're being followed, and a lot of times Stan feels eyes on. He said, "There's eyes on me right now," and he says it out loud, so I'm aware of it. And because, like I said, I don't even feel it no more. I'm just so used to their frequencies when they're around that it's just no bother until they.
You guys are tuned in. When they're around.
Well, that's it. We spend a lot of time out there.
Yeah. How much time is that?
Well, it just depends. A lot of the stuff that we find, we'll find like 20, 30 structures. We've only been out there for 3 hours.
Wow.
In someplace new.
Well, I know, but like every month, how often, like obviously it's going to be warmer now, more time, but how often, how many hours a month do you and Stan stay out in the woods?
Well, we're not
we've only been doing this for 8 months.
Oh, wow. I thought it was
That's
longer.
okay.
Yeah,
as
no.
a teen.
Never mind. I'll ask you next time.
Literally, it's been 8 months since we started, and every time we go out, we find stuff. It doesn't take all day. It doesn't take multiple days. In fact, the Tree Stack Road, we were laughing because we were commenting on how much distance we could travel in the vehicle before we found another structure. And I think the shortest one was we moved 6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah.
It stopped. And that's the whole thing. Each one of us, when we find something, we just stop.
You're done.
You know, I stop, we get out, we go investigate it.
Okay, hang on just 1 second. Amy, can you please PM me? We want to talk to you more about your story. So anyhow, about the humming, she said that a Bigfoot would sit outside her window and hum. When she was little, she said, I'm autistic. We're all autistic, and I am autistic, and she would rock my room. And she would rock my room back to sleep. I need my monocle. I have remembered this my whole life. Okay, well, it's really interesting. But you guys haven't heard a hum or a buzz, correct?
No, not really. I have heard stories of them singing, especially the females.
Right.
My female, actually, about 3 months prior to my sighting of her, which I thought I was going bananas, I would call up Tom Cantrell. Tom, I'm hearing my name called in the woods by a female, and I'm the only one out there. You know, and that's a little unnerving, trying to figure out am I going nuts? Am I hearing things?
I've had the similar experience to hearing a female call my voice when I was in the woods and there was nobody else around.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm literally stopped at a spot where I do some pistol target shooting. I finished shooting and I was putting my gear away and walking to the driver's door when I heard my name called out. Very soft, feminine voice. And there was nobody else there because I'm staring around at woods. So, yeah, a little weird.
I think they all have the power to mind speak. It's just most of them, some of them choose not to. They all have, I think, the same abilities. But whether or not they choose to use them, some of them are going to be verbal with you. Some of them are going to do the mind speak thing with you. And some of them won't talk to you, period. You know, they're like, tight-lipped. And I experienced that up at Trillium Lake when I was with Marie Dumont and Brian Terrell. We did a little thing up there after Beachfoot. And I had one come into camp that was tapping on my cast iron pan. I think he wanted me to make him some dinner because I just made everybody spaghetti. And and we ate it all, by the way.
He's a good cook.
Yeah, never trust a skinny chef. Stan's a good cook as well, so don't let him fool you. But just the strangeness of it, and I try to communicate with that one.
Have you ever tried asking them to sing or make some kind of noises?
No, not yet.
Would that be disrespectful in your mind?
Well, no, I don't think that would be. Because you're asking them to give you one of their skills. I would like to hear you sing.
We ask them to photobomb us a lot too.
Here's an interesting example of asking them something or saying something,
okay.
And then they give you the request. Across from the footprints of the video that he played, there was a manzanita piece sticking out of the ground that come off at a 90, and in a stack of rocks, which is, we had found a similar thing just around the next corner on the next bank, which we found footprints as well. That was the stick was held up by dirt clods and little things that came from somewhere else. It didn't come from the immediate area. This was woven around, as you can see, it's been twisted in and everything and manipulated, the end of that manzanita stick. And there's a Y on the manzanita that this wouldn't slip over. So, and 2 hours earlier, I had just told Stan, wouldn't it be cool? I said, I know they do these things. They do these little weaving. They make wreaths. And I said, wouldn't it be cool to find a wreath? Here we are 2 hours later, finding this manzanita stick poking up out of the dirt.
No way.
With this weaved onto the end. And right across from where those prints were going up the bank, that whatever it was disappeared. And what I had to do is I had to pull that stick out and work this down. I was trying not to destroy it because all the needles are very dry. I've sprayed it with a clear matte finish spray just to hold it together. So hopefully I can keep it as it is without it just completely falling to pieces someday. But I had to pull this whole stick out and work it down the end of it to come off the other end of the sticks. And of course we put the stick back. But when I pulled the stick up, I noticed in the middle of it had, and this is manzanita. Manzanita is one of the hardest of the hardwoods. It's just above ironwood. That's why they use it for perches and cages with large bird species, such as a macaw or a parrot, because they tend to chew up their perches. If you put a little dowel in there, it only takes them about 5 minutes to chew right through the dowel. So they use manzanita. Manzanita will work for a long time, sometimes months. It holds up to their beak pressure, which is like 2,200 psi, which is pretty incredible. But there was a twist in the middle of this manzanita. And I'm like, okay, well, that lends a little more credence to this may be something from them. I can't say definitively I didn't see them make this, but suspicions of what was going on, the prints across the road, this thing being there, which was out of place. It didn't make sense, that this piece had been there, that somebody had done this on the side of the road for some weird reason. So it's just about getting those things to add up to where you figure, okay, well, this may be related to this. That's why I said, this is going home. Didn't I just ask for a weave a couple hours ago? Stanley and I were walking down that, what we're now calling the Puzzle Rock Road. So we found it very interesting. I said, I've got to take this home. This could be, I don't think somebody absolutely weaved this. It's very basic of how it was done. But being, like I said, I had asked for something, and there it is, which is a common thing. When you ask for something, they will put it in your path and show you.
Fascinating. Stan, do you have a bunch of things in your home like Bill here?
Yeah, I'm starting.
He's working on it.
Just curious.
I'm getting him tuned up. We're gonna probably do a room in his place where it's going to be like my living room.
Yeah,
I've got my collection of gifts. I've got a tree twist break that we harvested from the woods. I've got several prints from the juvenile trackways that we got in Applegate last December. In fact, the manzanita tree that Bill's talking about, we did video on. We just find so much stuff that I'm backlogged on the video editing. When we find stuff, occasionally very colorful language slips out. So mostly the editing is to remove these things that are not suitable for all audiences. We can't help it. You find something astonishing and next thing you know, you're like, oh, I can't say that on TV.
Yeah, we're like two little kids sometimes, and adult version of two little kids.
Gee.
It's like,
so, okay, have you guys ever been gifted anything blue in color besides the feather?
No, that's one thing. And I remember you talking about, this has been a few years ago, Doug, that you were putting out that you had nailed something blue to a tree and it disappeared.
Oh yeah. It's been, we've done a lot of blue experiments.
Yeah, that was it's been some time ago.
But I've just noticed a lot of, once in a while, if you do find an object in a tree structure, it's often blue. And that's in Minnesota. That doesn't mean that's the same where you are.
Yeah, they all do different things where they are. They're like us. They're individual. They all have their little niches and likes and dislikes. They're no different from us.
But I did find other researchers that also found blue items in tree structures.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was quite a coincidence.
Well, what Stan and I are mainly waiting for is one of his barn boards disappeared. and that's what he was showing me the day we found the blue jay feathers sticking up. He was showing me about, well, one of my barn boards just disappeared, gone. And so we're kind of hoping one of these days we're going to find it in a tree structure somewhere 20, 30, 40, 50 miles away. It's just, we're expecting it actually. So it's going to be interesting if that ever happens. That's going to be a show in itself.
So Amy says, I give them royal blue ribbons. I tie them in trees. So there you go.
There's a cool idea. Hopefully, Amy, if you've experienced it, have they taken any of your ribbons? There's the next thing, is if they actually took it as a gift. Because we give them food and stuff, but a lot of people don't think of gifting them little knickknacks. Like you gift them marbles, gift them, something a little weird, a little doll or a little stuffed toy, and see, if they respond to it.
Here's David Ellis said he had 2 separate study areas that had clusters of blue pottery shards.
Interesting. Hi, David. David also has the audio.
Yeah.
That we recorded.
I give blue glass marbles,
There
among
you
other
go.
things. But that is one thing I always take when I go out in the bush. So there you go.
And that's something that's cool that you can fit in your pocket and just stick it up somewhere, maybe in a tree, a nook of a tree branch. Take a photo of it, and then check next time you come out and see if it's still there.
Yeah.
Technically, the peanut butter label is blue.
Yeah, it's true. Have you guys? What kind of luck have you had with the peanut butter?
They've taken it every time. They've taken it at Applegate. They've taken it wherever. We have not. We've yet, and what we're hoping for is that we find the jars, because we've seen pictures of other people gifting peanut butter, and then you find the jar where it is peeled like a banana, because they wanted every good to the last drop, and we're hoping to find that one of these days. And because I tell them, this is garbage, trash, if you guys return it here or pile it up somewhere, for me to find, because they're pretty good at directing us where to go, using our own intuition, and kind of pushing us from one spot to another. It happens all the time. Marie Dumont, it took me a long time, Marie and I talking all the time, that letting her know that, no, they're very aware of you. She always has these weird little intuitions where she breaks off from the group and she goes and finds prints and structures. Every time she breaks off, she's the one that finds it. I said, well, those are meant for you. It's meant for the person that finds it. They know you're going to find it. They put it there for you, but sometimes they'll kind of grab you a little bit using your intuition and making you think it's your own idea, but we're going to take you, go over this way, away from everybody. And that's when you start to find things.
It's interesting.
It happens to her often. And it doesn't matter what state she's in.
Right.
She's been in Utah. She's been in Washington State. She's the one that found the prints when they went up there and took the group up there when they were talking at Meadowline Falls. And, everywhere she's gone, she's been out just all over, and she is always the one that finds it.
Marie's a great researcher.
Yeah.
Marie is awesome. We've been good friends for a few years now, and we had a blast when I took him up to Trillium Lake, and it's been a good thing. I need to make it out there and go get eaten by snakes and iguanas falling out of the trees and whatever, and make it out to Florida and go hang out with them for a week or two. Stan and I plan on, if things go well for us, eventually that we're going to be doing some traveling. And I want to get out to Oklahoma to go see Arla and Brian Terrell, and maybe go hang out with them and see how things go, and and just start going out with other researchers. That's one of our plans, is that, if somebody wants to come with, we don't charge anything. We're not, there's so many people that are charging groups. That's one of my beasts with the BFRO, is in order to become a member, you got to go out on some $5,000 or $6,000 expedition with them, and then they accept you into the club, and we don't want to charge anything. Just like our channels, we don't want to charge anything. We don't want to charge you a fee. We want what we're doing to pay for itself through, commercials of whatever we're working through and whatever entity we're working with. Same with Facebook. We just hit our mark today to where if we hold our audience at this certain level for the next 30 days, they start doing the same thing. We're in the pay grade on that.
Awesome. Good for you.
And we also have that on our YouTube as well. There's two different levels on YouTube. The lower level is if you're putting how-to in front of your stuff. It pays at a lower level of viewership. What was cool with Facebook is once we hit a certain level, the AI program in Facebook started promoting us more. We noticed all of a sudden, boom, it's like, oh, they're helping us. And what happens when they start helping you, they get you out there further. They'll actually put hashtags on things. The AI will, to get you out into further and more groups and stuff, because it's to their best interest. If you're making money, they make even more. So they will help you once you get up to that level, which is a great thing. That's what we're looking for, is multi-streams of things that help pay for this, because most people think that we're getting paid for this, like this interview. People think, oh, you guys made money out there. No, we don't make a dime. And the people that do are the people that run the show. We're not interested in, we're going to get some of your money. No, this is your show. This is your baby. This is what you created. We just hope to make something off of what we create, but we're not trying to make it off of our viewers. We want the commercial entities to pay for it. You get up to that level, they start putting commercials on your things, your little videos and everything, and boom, they pay you. You don't need money from the audience. So we're trying to stay away from subscription type things, so it's available to everybody.
We actually hit that magic number on Facebook today.
Yes. And the thing of it is if I subscribe to all my friends' shows, I'd be working for all of you, because I know everybody. I'm getting closer to about 600 researchers on my page, my personal page, and and a lot of them I have met. We've made good friends right off the bat, and because of my rotten personality, they like the bad guy, I guess. But it's going to make it just makes it easier. And the reason I friended so many people, especially top people, you being one of them, Doug, is because of your research. I wanted to learn and see what other people are doing, what is working for you. If it's not working, well, maybe you should try something else. And that's when I got to where no tree knocks, no vocalizations, no doing. If you saw it on Finding Bigfoot or Expedition Bigfoot, don't do it. Do the opposite. Don't do it. Let them come to you. And once I learned that Tom was right about letting them come to you, that changed my entire world.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that for sure. And they do, and they will. We got to wrap it up. We really thank you guys for
awesome. Great conversation.
Because I got to go to work soon.
Yep, you got to go to work.
Yes, I have sacrificed about 2.5 hours of sleep so I could do the show.
And I'm already
and Stan was kind enough to get a hold of Jeff, say, don't wake Bill up before 5.
Oh, yeah. No, I learned that lesson last time. I felt bad last time.
Yeah, I texted Jeff when I got up. I'm up. Yeah. I'm alive. I've already clocked in.
All good.
Anyhow, thank you, Stan. Thank you, William. We really appreciate it. Great stuff. Congrats on reaching your goal on Facebook.
Yeah, we're getting there, and we're growing. And as I told Stan, it's going to be slow and steady, but it's going to be steady, and that's exactly how it's worked out. So it's we're kind of enjoying it. We're still fumbling around a little bit, figuring out how to use things like hashtags.
Yeah,
that's a new one. And oh wow, that changed our world. Hashtags. Oh, what a cool concept. That works really good. So folks, you want to get things out there, learn hashtags. Look them up.
There you go.
Look up how to use them and stuff, and it'll tell you in the search engine of how to use them, what to use, and that's going to get you out there to a whole new audience.
It's true.
Keep an eye on our YouTube channel. I've got a lot of video in the queue, and we're going to start putting it out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, see, Stan and I have to have adulting to do, so we can't always get everything out. So some of our stuff is like 6-7 months back behind, and haven't been able to get it out because Stan's got to survive and make a living. I have to make a living. I work nights, so I only got a couple days that I can go out and go play in the woods, and it is play to me. I just love doing what I'm doing.
All right. Well, we're going to do our wisdom of the week, and then just stand by, guys.
Hang tight. We'll be right back.
It's now time for Untold Radio AM Wisdom of the Week. Creativity is the spark that keeps the soul alive. The first step is always the hardest, but it's the one that changes everything. Create something, anything, and happiness has a way of finding you. A life in motion stays inspired. Good night. We hope to see you all next week. If you like the show tonight, please consider giving us a thumbs up, leaving a nice comment, and most of all, subscribing and hitting the bell so you will be notified when a new episode is dropping. Also, please share this episode. Now back to Doug and Jeff for our wrap.
And we are back. Thank you again, guys.
Naughty.
Busted.
Naughty.
That's just fine.
All good.
Anyhow, everybody really loved you guys.
Oh, yes.
And,
So good to have you guys back.
We
It was
appreciate
great.
all you folks.
A lot of
out
great
there.
comments.
Yeah, thank you all for coming and hearing us speak. Much appreciated. I saw a lot of names in the chat that I recognized from previous appearances. So.
Yeah. It's a lot of great people.
Yeah, we loved having you guys back. It was
So
awesome.
we will talk soon, Stan and Bill. You
All right,
guys have a great rest of your night and
You can go to work for me if you want.
enjoy Monday.
Yeah. Well,
See ya.
Yeah.
Monday is today's my Friday, so
Oh,
yeah, Monday's the start of my weekend. So
I
nanny,
gotcha.
it's not such a bad day for me.
Well, enjoy your Monday. It's not for me.
All right, thank
Anyhow,
you,
good
gentlemen.
night, everybody.
Good
good night,
night.
everyone. Thank you so
Night.
much.
I call you up in the middle of the night. Been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. We head on down the road until we get bored. Just you and me and the sun and the wind. If the rain should start falling, we'll head on home again. Everybody else can see where we belong. Oh, ain't no ordinary love we got going on. At the end of the world, together forever is one, and I'll wait if ever you should be in doubt.